you better get ready for a brand new day. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. They're singing, go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. They got the power, they got the speed to be the best in the National League. Well, this is the year and the Cubs are real. So come on down to Wrigley Field. We're singing now, go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Baseball time is here again. You can catch it all on WGN. So stamp your feet and clap your hands. Chicago Cubs got the greatest fans. I hear 'em singing now. Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Let's go! Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Pizza Man! Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse. My name is Scarfy,
I'm Naka.
And I'm Krüz.
and welcome again. We are a determinedly drunk, geeky, and cheerful podcast where wolves, we house in a tree, and we entertain, bringing you all the latest entertainment news. So that's a lot like a music appreciation class. We talk about certain topics and see how people react to them in a different way. That song that you were just listening to was Go Cubs Go, and it was brought to you by the Cubs winning the 2016 World Series. And I have to say, that was one of the greatest baseball games I have ever seen in my entire life. What, wouldn't you agree, guys?
That was
It
pretty
was
epic.
instant classic.
It was amazing. Like I don't know what it was, and let me be frank, I am not a fan of baseball. I don't know the ins and outs of how things work. I do know the rules of baseball, and I do know how it goes. But what I am convinced that this was the baseball game that kind of brought people together in a way, even though if you guys weren't on the Cubs team. Mm-hmm. I'm not too sure what you guys think about that, but that is fascinating to me. And I will say that was a pretty interesting baseball game. And granted, I'm not a big sports guy, but I watched that game through and through, and that was like intense, like heart pounding intense. What do you guys think?
I'll let Krüz take the
Sticking
floor
bad.
first.
Yeah, sticking bears, apparently.
No, but really, what do you
by the way,
think?
Cody, we might have to teach you a lesson because the Yankees are garbage, and you know it. Go back in the cellar. We all belong. Yeah. Well, good luck to Toronto then. They were doing pretty solid the last season, at least. Mariners. But I do like Nelson Cruz though. Yeah, but the game about the Cubs. Yeah, I mean, one of my friends here at McDaniel, she's from Chicago and she's a huge Cubs fan. She was pretty emotional after that. She was streaming live on her Facebook, and she said she was like, she had to call her grandma because she was like waiting for the Cubs to win. The best thing I saw was it's probably circulated by now, but I think it was Bleacher Report showed the guy your grandpa was waiting 81 years for the Cubs to win, and his reaction was priceless.
Oh wow!
I mean, it's pretty.
Cool. I actually saw it in the news about a literally 108-year-old woman who is still she can still talk, which thank Christ, but she waited that long to see the Cubs game wins, and it was like I want to say like years before she was born, and she finally saw the Cubs win, and that was a fantastic. Yeah, that was a fantastic piece of history that we got to witness there, and it's going to be in the record books for a long time to come.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
There was also sort of on that. There was I think it was a World War II veteran or someone who'd been alive.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was only 100 years old, not 108, but that was pretty close.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, I ain't dying till the Cubs win.
But all I can say was that I instantly fell in love with the song, even though I'm not a Cubs fan. I may have become one after that game, though, but I'm not too sure.
I mean, because the Pirates are garbage.
Well. But
yes, I was sorry to interject, and Scarfy's not going to appreciate it, but I was at the Ravens game today. Mike Wallace has fucking wheels, man.
Wait, you went to the Ravens game, as in like you went to an actual football game in the stadium where the Ravens were?
Yes, the one in Baltimore. Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yes. My dad has been a PSL owner for since the Ravens came to Baltimore. He has the thing from 1996 of the first game against the Raiders that the Ravens played, which is pretty cool. So he's been there for forever. Derek Cheater is a cheater. Yeah, Yankees are a disgrace to baseball. I'm sorry. Not sorry at all. But
no, literally.
Yeah, it was an exciting game today.
Literally, the last time, this is the best thing since sliced bread, because sliced bread came to be in 1928, and the Cubs won the World Series in 1908.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so 20 years before sliced bread was actually a thing, and I don't even think television was a thing in 1908. I think you only had radio and whatnot.
No,
there was
had transistor radios.
That was one of the Twitter moments, the memes of, does anyone have facts about what things were around when Cubs won the World Series in 1908? And they're like, the World Series was called the Flat World Series.
Oh, really? Wow.
Right. The children's favorite toys were soot and mercury.
Well, whether you are a Cubs fan or if you are not a Cubs fan, in my opinion, I would just want to say congratulations, Chicago Cubs. You deserve the win. I don't even care if any other team lost, because you rightfully deserve that win. But we'll see what happens next World Series, because I'm pretty sure, well,
Mariners.
I don't want to... We'll see about that. Anyway...
Mariners.
We have as always, guys, we have a show tonight. Let's move on to music. Let's move on to Krüz with music.
Yeah. There's a little quick thing I forgot to interject. Even though I love Nelson Krüz because he was on the O's, but I was at a regrettable game where Seattle just beat the Orioles 10-0. But Nelson Krüz hit a home run, and it was really close to where I was sitting, and it was loud when it hit the seat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Bad Wolf. Yeah, well.
Before we move on, I just want to say something. I am a Mariners fan. I've lived in Washington State most of my life. Spare 3 years.
Trivia. Did you know that Hiroshi Yamauchi, the president of Nintendo, actually funded the Mariners?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not like I lived here. It's not like it was all over the news when the ownership passed around.
Well, anyway, but
I'm a Mariners fan. I've been all of my life, but for the Cubs, literally, it was just in the past 5 years they went from a 100-game loss season to winning the World Series. Not many teams can do that.
Didn't they win over 100 this season?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so that says something. But anyway, sort of on a somewhat on topic to baseball, because this band coming up are what do you call it? Giants fans, San Francisco, that is, Metallica. So we've been waiting, and we have been blessed with another new song from Hardwired to Self Destruct, titled Atlas Rise. Now, this one, I think Moth into Flame is still my favorite, but this one is pretty damn good because it blends that groovy Metallica that you got with Death Magnetic with sort of an Iron Maiden-esque, like it's the chorus is exactly like why am I stupid? That's a question I've not known the answer to, but I have the fucking poster on my wall, for God's sake. Hallowed be thy name.
Oh,
God
okay.
damn it. Okay.
Well, it was in the agenda. You couldn't just read it.
Yeah. No. I mean, I couldn't say the name for some reason, but this one's pretty epic. It's the longest of the songs been released so far. I think it's about 6 minutes and some odd seconds. It does a pretty good job. I love the sort of harmonized solo. There's a version I found that if you look it up, you can find the version of Atlas Rise if it had been on Injustice for All, and they extended the harmonic solo, and it sounds really awesome.
Yeah, I actually took a listen to Atlas Rise, and I don't know about you, but not that the music video is by any means like creative. It's just simply
it's just them in the studio.
It's just them in the studio. But to be honest, I think I would feel right at home hanging out with these guys because I noticed that they were, doing a lot of hand motions to the music, and I do that a lot, and for unexplained reason. And I think they would tolerate it because this song was fascinating to me. Like, yeah. I haven't heard this. I mean, I'm not a huge Metallica fan. I mean, I have heard Metallica plenty of times, but I have not heard this good of a song since Master of Puppets. But but maybe I should have spoke too soon about that because I know that Krüz might harp on me for saying that. But I actually really enjoyed the song.
That would be kind of fair because that was the last great album they had besides Injustice for All, and even that had it has an obvious problem.
Shutterwolf.
It has an obvious problem.
Good job, Shutterwolf. You deserve applause for that.
It's like Wikipedia Metallica.
That's just amazing.
The glaring problem with lack of bass, But it still sounded good, but just the bass was just inaudible. Yeah. And they're even making a joke like that since there was no bass in the album, that Rob Trujillo, the current bassist, would just dance around on stage while they were playing songs from that album.
I totally see what you mean. What do you think, Naka?
I love Metallica. I know I love this song, and I have been stupid not pre-ordering this album.
It's not too late.
It's not too late, but I'll just...
Is it going to sell out or something, or...
What?
Well, no. I mean, you can't run out of online copies. I would
No.
hope not.
No. I actually was talking about physical copies.
Oh,
I like getting CDs.
That's possible, but I think if you pre-order them, then it should be good because they have time to make enough copies.
I wonder if they're going to make a vinyl copy.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
for sure. I've seen
they make ones of even as recent albums. I saw one of a vinyl of Slayer's "Repentless," and that was just last year.
Are you gonna pre-order a vinyl copy, Krüz?
I would if I had a record player. We used to have one.
No. I meant like for keepsies. Just to like say this. I am never gonna open this because one day this will be worth a lot of money or something like that.
I think maybe, but I just haven't done that because I just didn't have the money to put forward to it in addition to other things. But that would be a cool thing to have, especially an autographed copy, if that was a thing or an option at the time.
Obviously, you can't really sell out on wireless copies, or can you? I'm not too sure, but I mean, I have seen Earthbound on Club Nintendo when it was actually a thing sell out, but that was because there were many people who wanted codes for it. and they had
Yeah.
to get more. But other than that, I don't really know what to think about here. But anyway, Metallica, I'm excited. I'm not a huge Metallica fan, but I actually really enjoy their music.
Yeah. I'm glad they finally fixed the weird issue with the drum sound, because it wasn't terrible in Death Magnetic. And I mean, nothing can really live up to, Saint Anger in terms of how shitty the drums sound, but there was just weird, like over, what do you call it? Sort of like, no, sort of like over compressed sounds when the double bass would hit, and it's like, it would just like sort of sound weird and fade out. You notice it in what do you call it? I'm dumb. In All Nightmare Long, because
Right.
the bass sounds different, or double bass sounds different from the first sequence they use it during the solo and then afterwards. But they pretty much fixed it, so you can discern it now. Even though Lars still doesn't really use it live, it sounds good in studio. That's what matters.
Yep.
But anyway,
For wired
Next.
copies.
yeah.
Are we gonna have the argument about cloud saves versus digital media?
No.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go that route. Let's continue.
Rooster Teeth Podcast did that like 3 years ago. We're moving.
Yeah. Come on.
But now we have this one I was listening to earlier today, and I think it's pretty cool. Animals as Leaders. The Madness of Many. So they're actually from DC, which I didn't know. They're progressive metal / djent, a little more on progressive side, because it's not as like true djent metal, but they use the kind of bass sound that the old Korn has, the rattly bass, and that sounds really cool. They're also an instrumental band, which is unique. There's plenty of bands do instrumental songs, but
Burnout 2 soundtrack.
this artist actually does not have a singer. I said in the thing, I'm definitely going to give this one a try. I mean, I've already gotten one of the songs, Arithmophobia, which is on the chat. That one I found I liked best. Inner Assassins is pretty good. The Brain Dance is an acoustic one. It doesn't sound as nice as I would like, but it's still pretty cool. It's sort of like what was the band? Acoustic Alchemy kind of thing. So I think this is really cool stuff. It's not necessarily just progressive like metal, but it's just like, it's just insanely talented drummer, guitarist. It's really good stuff. People.
I was listening to Animals as Leaders, and honestly, I kind of fell asleep on the first minute and a half. I was just not interested in listening to their other songs. Yeah, I'm sorry, I chickened out on this one, but at least I gave it a try. It just doesn't tickle my fancy.
Do or do not. There is no trial.
What do you think, Naka?
When I was listening to these songs, I got reminded of Burnout 2 because all the songs on that soundtrack are instrumental, and I love every single song on that soundtrack.
Yeah, I think I had kind of Scarfy's reaction on Brain Dance because that one was just kind of boring to me, but Arithmophobia is a little bit more, technical in terms of the time signature, and that's what keeps it interesting sometimes, because if you listen to it enough, you can sort of decipher the main beat from the other drums, because they do often have like conflicting rhythms. I forget what the word is called, but there's like when two sort of separate time signatures offset each other. There's a term for it. It's weird, but it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And I'd recommend this if you like Gojira and Meshuggah, or even the Doom soundtrack, because Mick Gordon is a fucking genius.
With that being said, guys, could you just give me a few minutes? I just need to do one thing, but you guys go ahead and continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, all I can say is thank God the Seahawks are playing tomorrow night instead of tonight.
Yeah. I mean, your dad gets, but
my
it can't.
God.
It's still not worse. It's still not worse than my mom with tennis because she'll like. It used to be really bad. You just hear it from down.
WTF.
You just hear it from downstairs, and you're just like, "Ow!" It was like be loud, and I'm like, "Fucking shit!" It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
at least he didn't break the TV that was down there, because if he did, I would not have the TV I have in my room.
Is that why you got it? Is he broke it?
No. So Friday I had the day off because of a teacher workshop day. So I tried to apply to Target, and literally I almost got hired, except the fact that I was going to be gone, like out of town for Black Friday. I didn't get hired.
Wow. for
Which, I
one
mean,
day.
it's completely understandable.
Yeah.
Like, from my perspective,
just
I'm just like,
one
that's
day.
completely fine. I know you need, like, every single person here on Black Friday. And I actually understood that was the deal breaker, but, like, if I was still in town for Black Friday, I would have gotten the job.
Yeah. It's kind of.
They had,
I know it feels.
Hello?
Oh god, the red sucks.
Hello?
yes, hi.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm going to continue on with my story. So after, like, I almost get hired at Target, a few hours later, my dad just like, hey, you want to go to Costco? I want to go buy a TV. And so we get this big 55-inch smart TV, which is now downstairs. The old TV that was down there got moved to my parents' room, and the TV in my parents' room, well, I kind of took that as my own.
That's very awesome. But now
And-
I think. What?
And now I have my original Xbox in there. I'm looking at getting either an Amazon Fire Stick or a Chromecast in there.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
So what are we on exactly?
I think unless you have anything else to say about animals as leaders, then I think we're gonna move on to the next one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So next one, Sting, 57th and 9th. Well, does it sound like Manhattan? You'd be right. It is. Hell's Kitchen specifically, where many Irish Americans lived upon immigrating. Yeah, immigrating. I get those words mixed up all the time. But fun fact, upon looking at that online, I found there are also Cornish Americans, derived from the county of Cornwall, England.
Oh,
And it is
come
they are
on.
their own. They're sort of not autonomous, but they're a recognized kind of subsect. It's the southernmost part of England
Yeah.
that I found that was pretty funny. Cornish Americans. Scarfy is a Cornish American, apparently.
No, I'm not. Nice try.
You are now.
I'm not a Cornish American. Please keep
I'm
going.
gonna gouge my eyeballs out on my steering wheel. Continue.
Yeah. Anyway, Sting got the name from that particular intersection which he would cross to get into his studio where he recorded the album. Though I wasn't a huge fan of the Police. I did like Message in a Bottle a little bit because that was it's a weird riff to play because you have to stretch your hand out in a weird way, but it does sound good. Anyway, there are 2 songs out. I Can't Stop Thinking About You, which if you really didn't realize already from that name, it's pretty much just radio rock, which isn't too bad, but it's just like, yeah, it's not really entertaining. Petrol Head, the other one, I liked better. It does sound a little more original, more kind of like what Bon Jovi was doing. A little more honest and real. Which, as I said, the first one sounds like mainstream, and the second one sounds like more familiar classic rock.
I agree to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people have kind of been like, Sting has lost everything, lost his talent. He is not good anymore. Make of it what you will, but I think he's got some good stuff to deliver. I think he's still around, and it's good to see that these people, even though he wasn't one of my personal favorite people in rock, but it's good to see he's still around and still making good music.
I will agree to that. I I mean, like I know that Steen is a very, very popular band, and I'm surprised that they're still kicking, and I'm really surprised that you actually prefer Sting over Kings of Leon, Krüz. But
Well, I
Don't forget the
mean,
police.
one has integrity, one doesn't. I'll leave that up to you to guess. I mean, and one is also, he's arguably been more successful. It's kind of like that kind of rock that they were trying to do, but it's kind of like a lost art, if you will. That
Right.
bands like Kings of Leon or Maroon 5, they like tried to do it, but it ends up just being pop because that's what it is.
mm-hmm.
And so no one can really do it anymore without being pop. So he's kind of like sort of like what do you call it? A last of a remaining breed. Kind of.
I wholeheartedly agree to that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, sort of relate to that.
Elton John is all right.
Elton John is a special person.
He's a special person, as in, he's an interesting person. I'll just say that, but he's okay.
He's got a wackier dress fashion than Cam Newton. Even Cam Newton tried to dress up like the Joker.
I thought David Bowie had a different.
I mean,
fashion sense.
that's kind of like with makeup more so, but just the things that just don't go together, like the pink suit and the green hat that Cam Newton had. And Elton John just wears a bunch of
Cody. My goodness, I had
sparkly
no idea
random
you'd
stuff.
say that.
That's more the French police sirens.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
I mean, I don't know. That's not- Oh, if you mean like that, I was like, well, it doesn't really. I don't know how you could keep that up.
I stole that joke from Family Guy, okay? And they were right about that.
Yeah. Rocket Man. Oh, like, I thought it was provolone. It's like, you stupid bitch. In that one commercial, I love that guy singing in the shower. Rocket Man.
And before it's a Rocket Mortgage commercial.
Right. But seriously, Naka, what do you think of Sting?
I like him with the police. I still like him as a solo act. It's good to see him after, like, it's been a while since I've got it. No, that's a different band. I think that's Shinedown. Either way.
I love
it's good to see
Shinedown.
him back.
Yeah. I
It's
think,
good to see
well,
him
we're
back.
kind of,
And when
kinda
I see
scared.
when I see the music video title, I can't stop thinking about you. All I can think of is What Can I Do by which is by The Police, which was then covered by The Offspring. That's what I have
The
stuck in my
Offspring.
head right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
my good friend, also from Baltimore. That's Jacob in the chat. I'm pretty sure he's a big fan of Offspring and a bunch of other punk groups like what do you call it? Bad Religion and a
Bad
few other
Religion,
ones.
Pennywise, TSOL.
Yeah, stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, what was it? I haven't listened to a lot of Offspring, but I know quite a few of their songs. They're pretty good. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, no.
was it? I for the longest time I knew you're gonna
Lucy
go
in the
far.
Sky with
I
Diamonds.
knew the song I knew the song You're Gonna Go Far, Kid, but I didn't know who it was by for the longest time, and that kind of I just realized that like
Anybody ever
not
played-
recently, but this year.
You didn't bother to research it?
I didn't know because I didn't
Jesus.
see what the title was on the radio.
Well, you could have just typed out the lyrics on Google, and they would have given you search results.
I
That's
didn't
what
know
I do.
this thing, like I didn't know to do it, and I didn't think to do it. I just have those moments. I'm like, what is this? Oh, okay. I just forgot about it. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. I forgot about it, but like, anybody ever play Crazy Taxi?
No.
Yeah. The arcade version, yeah.
Yeah, the arcade version. Yeah, All I Want. Yeah, that's by The Offspring. Suck it. That's where everybody.
Yeah.
That's where most everybody got introduced to The Offspring.
The kids
Yeah.
aren't all right. Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I have to say about Sting. What about you?
Same.
All right, I guess we're done with them. Just, I mean, I don't know if I'll listen to the rest of the album, but it's all right. I'll probably hear it eventually. But anyway, the last thing we have, it's been scarce for music this week, but we did have a good lineup. And we have another good one, which we have In Flames. In Flames we trust. In Tucker we trust. Go Ravens. This will. I almost. See, the thing is, sometimes I just read words ahead of each other, and I just sort of try to meld them together. I tried to say Swedish melodic, and it sounded like slimotic.
Slimotic.
Anyway, Swedish melodic metalcore band will be releasing Battles November 11th, and I'll be seeing them. Oh yeah, I forgot this thing. So far, everything aside from Metallica, which is already available, I believe is on November 11th. Sort of disclaim, or
I'll be back in a minute.
yeah, should have mentioned that earlier, but I'm stupid. You know that. Anyway, they're going to be releasing it on November 11th. Sweden. Svea, Stormriket till ända. Yeah, I know a little bit of Swedish because of Sabaton. I memorized the lyrics to Leonet från Norden and Livstid I krig in Swedish, which is pretty cool. Anyway, they have a few songs out now. Swedish fish. So far, I think, okay, 2 new songs are out. Through My Eyes and Save Me, which we got at the last minute. Those ones are pretty, they're pretty good considering, the end is okay. I find I like it quite a bit. Except the chorus of voices is kind of annoying, but it's not used too much in that one. But in The Truth, it's just kind of like they like Rise Against with Make It Stop. They used it in a decent way, just like not overbearing. But with The Truth, which is the one I don't like from In Flames, they used it like way too much on that, and I'm like, what is this? This is not In Flames. This is bullshit.
Oops.
And I'm like, this is like Rise Against, and I'm like, not in a bad way because I love Rise Against, but this is just kind of like weak.
Yeah. Jacob, speaking of Swedish meatballs, I have Midtown Madness 3 on the brain because there's technically like 2 sort of like stories in that game, where one you're in Paris and you're trying to protect like some famous race car driver through a various multitude of things, and there's a group of kidnappers that are Scandinavian, but like half the time the text, the text in game, it's like they're on the meatball diet. Watch out for those Scandinavians. Oh no, it's the meatballs. Get after them.
Meatball.
Scandinavians.
Meatball.
Anyway, I saw the video of the end, and it was an interesting video nonetheless. But yeah, I don't mean to be like super anti-metal all the time, and I'm definitely not. I do appreciate metal for what it is. It's just that I honestly don't know what to think of In Flames, but hey, at least Krüz does. So
yeah, this to be like, I can kind of understand that with this album, it's kind of like a departure from their traditional sound. So they normally don't sound like that, but my favorite song, which I sort of included in the schedule or whatever, was "I'm the Highway" or "I Am the Highway," because saying it the other way is too confusing. Like the chorus gives you chills, and if it doesn't, you might want to see a doctor because something might be wrong with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of the end is kind of what that sounds like, but the Highway is like a lot faster and a lot more epic, and with like, I don't know, they just kind of did some weird things because like the drums are too loud compared to everything else. The guitar is just like too quiet for some reason. I don't know why, and it's especially in Through My Eyes, it's just way too quiet. It bothers me a little bit because it's like you want to turn it up, but then the drums are too loud and you still can't hear the guitar. Just I mean, they by this point they should know how to do production. But you could say the same about Metallica, but I mean, they fixed it still.
Okay.
Though I do want to say, In Flames, I still like them because they kind of blend. They kind of touch on the metalcore scene without going too far into the quote unquote scene or emo kind of field.
I
But
totally see what you're saying.
They still sort of they brush on that and do it in a really epic way. I will be seeing them live with Hell Yeah on the 14th. They're touring together with I forget what the other ones are. From Ashes to New, I think is the other band's name. They'll be touring with them, and I'll see them in Silver Spring. And I just got to see Hell Yeah before last year with Five Finger Death Punch and Volbeat, so I'm really excited for that. Hell Yeah's their new album was just insanely. It was just the best I've heard from them.
Hey, oh my God, the NASCAR race finally started.
I'm really excited, and clearly Naka is too.
Yeah. Focus your attention over here, Naka.
I just look over. I have it turned on because it just started. But
Meatball.
oh my God, 2007 YouTube poops all over again. Meatball.
It burns.
That's all I have to say about In Flames, Naka.
What is it with those damn Norse countries making the best metal ever?
Yeah, and it's kind of like you wouldn't guess that they're from Sweden, but they are, and I guess that's you could probably tell more. So
Wait, where is Norse mythology based off of, and what country?
Norse mythology is
it's all
Norway?
Scandinavian. I think
Norway,
it's a lot of it is Norway, Sweden, Iceland is a big
Finland.
one.
Oh, and then Greek mythology is obviously in Greece.
Greece, the Roman Empire, sort of spread around the Mediterranean area too. Also, can't forget Denmark, because even they're sort of connected by that culture. North Germany also kind of, because Germany and Denmark they're pretty close to each other. So they kind of meld together at some points. That's generally where it came from.
Right, I see what you mean.
It's what's for dinner.
I wonder what's for dinner.
It's like, my boy. All the YouTube proofs. It's just great. But yeah, we got some great stuff for music. And we also got some great stuff for video games. And that's just a cue for Naka to take it away with some... What do you call it? What's the word?
Stuff.
Nostalgia pandering.
The first thing we have this week is the NES Classic, which is actually something that I'm somewhat excited for.
Mm-hmm.
The NES Classic is perfect for those looking to get their retro game on without splurging outrageous amounts of money for a console and cartridges. With 30
Or, buying the games online, but keep going.
Or they could do it for free because of emulators, but I won't get into that. With 30 preloaded games, you can play the classics for hours on end. If you want to take a break in a game like Mario 3, perhaps, maybe you got to go out and go eat dinner somewhere, and you want to, save your progress for later. You can create a save point so when you turn on the NES Classic again, you can load it back up. Right at that point. Nintendo is reusing their old IPs, yes, but it's a good way to bring new gamers the classic games we used to play. This seems like a great gift for the holidays and a decent holdover for the Switch in spring. It'll cost you $60 on November 11th. Controllers are an extra $10, but this is something that I am happy for. Like when this was sorry.
Go ahead.
When this was announced a few months ago, I was like, oh my god, Nintendo's actually doing this? And it's not like some cheap flea market cash grab deal? Whatever the heck. With like 76,000 games in one. And it's just a bunch of NES games just copied over and over and over again with different titles.
Yeah, you want to know something funny? I'm just going to say this right here. Nintendo gets mad respect for using 80s 90s retro graphics, as well as saying, now you're playing with power. And I'm like, yes! Oh my god, it's so beautiful! It's beautiful!
The nostalgia is real.
I know.
Yeah, I wonder if my NES Power Pad will work. I don't think Track and Field's on there,
Do
unfortunately.
you have an NES?
I do not. I'm just referencing the NES Power Pad only because of the local game shop that I talked about earlier.
I don't I don't have one, but I did go. I do, or did know. We weren't really friends, but we were just because it was someone. My dad's coworker's family, their son had a NES, which didn't seem to be working, but I mean, at least I got to see one. But I think so. About this thing, is it just a plug and play thing? You could just plug it into a TV.
Essentially, yes, but I think it has an external power supply. I don't know every single thing about it, but it's essentially a plug and play, but it's, officially, like, made by Nintendo, so you don't have to go worry about some crappy flea market advertising 6,000 games in one. I have nothing against plug and play games. It's like a bunch of them are good and a bunch of them are god awful.
I mean, I tried buying one of them. I think a Pac-Man one once, and it just all it would do is just like sort of the static TV screen with the Pac-Man logo.
Wait. Are you talking about like those miniature like game consoles where you basically plug it into your like
Joystick things?
Yeah, and then if it stops working, you have to put batteries in it.
It didn't even work the first time.
Oh yeah, those are dumb. Don't ever get those.
I did that once, and I have never done it since, and I never will again.
But yeah, NES Classic. I'm sure a lot of people are excited for this. I'm sure a lot of people want to play Super Mario Brothers again. For me, it would be Zelda 1 because I love Zelda 1. In fact, let me tell you a story. When I was playing Zelda 1 for the first time, like I was in high school, and this was a game that came out in the 1980s.
86.
And mid 1980s, and I was literally just, a kid in high school in 2000, like getting really excited to get home just so I can play more Zelda 1, and I don't know what it was, but I kept playing, and I had a great time, and I beat the game, and I just said to myself, you can't really be a true Zelda fan if you haven't played the first Zelda game, and that's what I did, and I actually enjoyed it. So for me, I loved it.
Yeah.
Who didn't?
I haven't played the NES. I mean, I played the 64 because one of my friends had it. We played Mario Kart, and it just kind of, at the time, I was like a little more. I was younger, and the controller just seemed kind of awkward to me because I was like, could not reach the
You need
middle
3 hands.
you need 3 hands for that. I couldn't reach the middle stick with either of my thumbs without taking my hand off to the side. It's just, I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Why is it shaped like this?
Get an Xbox
It
controller.
looks cool, but it's impossible to hold.
Right. But yeah, I'm personally excited for this. But yeah, if you guys are looking for a system that can play some of the best NES games that have ever been made, you owe yourself to play this one. Unfortunately for me, I'll just sulk and sit here while I can't really get a Japanese Famicom version.
Sad panda.
Yeah, I really wanted the Famicom, but whatever. But anyway, that's all I have to say regarding the NES Classic.
Krüz?
It looks interesting. I'd buy it, but
Oh yeah.
If I could, I mean, I don't think it would be practical for me to do it now, but at some point, because I feel like I missed out with some of the NES, even though they really brought a lot of those games to the next generations, because I mean they had to. So I played some of the originals, but not the original NES. So I figured just to get a taste of it, it would be worth at least trying it out for a while, if they have that in store or something like that. One of those ones you can just pick up and play for a little bit.
But anyway,
All right. Is that all we have to say?
I think so.
Yep.
All right, we're moving on to Dishonored 2. Yes, Dishonored is returning to the video game world. I remember playing a few hours of the first one. It was pretty cool, I'll be honest. It was kind of like Skyrim in a way, with just like the combat system. It's also like steampunk with like the fusion of technology and like old school architecture.
Yeah.
The second
Those
one looks the
robots.
same. You've got a choice of 2 characters and a choice of abilities for each character, and you can choose to use those abilities or not. Because the game doesn't really require them for story progression, but if you want to do like quests and like get secret items and stuff, you can use those abilities. The game is set 15 years after the first one and continues on the story of the first, which is why I'm not going to talk about any of the characters because I don't want to spoil anything.
Spoiler alert!
The setting is very
Spoiler.
Southern Europe-ish. It's European, and the architecture is around like 1851-ish era. In like our like life,
Yeah, it
so
looks
160 years ago.
Either like France or Italy, kind of looks like. Probably Italy.
Yeah, it's like Italy, France, Greece. It's a fusion. You can pick it up on the 11th for Steam, Xbox One, and PS4.
Yeah, I looked at this trailer. It kind of looked more like an interactive type game, like say Dark Souls. If you don't mind me, I'm pretty sure there's a better comparison. But for me, like I'm actually watching a person play Dark Souls 3 blind.
Oh, that's fun.
It is the most fun thing to watch, and I am having fun watching it. But at the same time, that's kind of this is the kind of vibe I'm getting from Dishonored 2. I'm not sure if I'd pick it up myself. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who are interested in this game, but yeah, but I mean, like the combat's interesting enough. It's very gory. I'll add that, but
Well, yeah. And that's what I love about it. Because I haven't played the original, but I've seen people play it, and most notably Smosh Games, and I love that was Laser Corner's the best out of the group. He's like snuck up on someone who was pissing off the wall and just kicked them into the water.
right.
Yep.
So games where you can go and do that with a bunch of cool, badass abilities, I think are really awesome. Except for Assassin's Creed, not really terribly good at it, but I've gotten better at playing.
It's gone downhill in the past few years, I'll be honest.
Kinda.
My friend got me Thief, and I've been playing. I played some of that.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, I like that. I gotten better at it. Better at the just. It's not quite like Assassin's Creed, but it's more like rooftop running and sneaking in. The combat is like the combat is like dumb because you have like you can take like 4 hits before you die. Essentially,
Oops.
usually, yeah. It's just kind of I'm like, don't get caught. I'm like, but what if I do? Don't get caught.
Don't get
so
caught.
that's what you have to
Fail
do.
If you get caught.
You
Or
don't
unless it's
fail,
like-
but it makes it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, or if it's like
Also, yeah, and also because there are like dogs and birds, and if you move too fast past them, they'll start freaking out. They'll start like losing their shit, and it's like, shut the fuck up. I'm sneaking here.
Yeah.
snecking here.
For if anyone is confused by what I mean by blind, it's not a literal gamer who's blind in the eyes. I'm pretty sure I'm not that extreme. Though there is gamers like that, and they're really cool for doing that.
Sometimes just for the lols.
But a blind let's play is basically someone who
They've
Never
never
played
played
it
it
before.
before.
they've,
Looked at it.
they've never played the game, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's baptism by fire. You're like, why am I dying so much?
Oh.
Because you haven't played the
I-
game before.
I have no fucking idea how to play the game.
Oh yeah, no. There's a few Super Mario World ROM hacks and Mario 64 ROM hacks that I have on my original Xbox because soft modded that I
Kaizo Mario.
No, I know all about Kaizo. I will never play that game. I don't have the patience for Kaizo.
I never heard of that one.
Kaizo Mario World, it's asshole Mario.
Oh, Kai's. Oh, I've seen.
What does Kaizo even mean?
Kaizo, it's just kind of become the turn of asshole Mario games Like Unfair Mario, Cat Mario.
God, Cat Mario is evil. It's an evil, evil game.
Like a bunch of the levels that Markiplier has played on his Mario Maker series are considered Kaizo levels.
You know, speaking of Mario Maker, I will have to say, you know, I don't really find that game any, like, really that new of a thing.
Yeah. You can just
Like, because
spam
it's been
press
around, it's been around for a while. It's just people, you know.
It's just Nintendo deciding to capitalize. Oh, hey, people make custom stuff. Well, why don't we just make our own version and people will buy it because, you know, we're Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah, it's sort of what happens when they discover a fan-made thing and try to make it their own.
Yeah, pretty much. But,
I'll probably be picking up the 3DS version, but that's going to be talked about at a later date.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Speaking of Super Mario World...
Sorry, that was my ringtone. I do apologize. Well, it's not that I didn't want it to go off, but now you guys know my ringtone, so...
Surprise!
Yeah, mine... I had mine as a song. I mean, it was Creeping Death and then Fuel, and then I decided, well, if I have it like that, I'm never going to pick up any call.
You're just going
Which
to
is
listen to the song.
Yeah. But so I just have one of the standard ones. I also used to have my text tone as the minion laughing. But then that started to get annoying when you started playing like over and over and over in rapid fire mode.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, I'm like, please make it stop.
Oh yeah, my ringtone is Gorilla Radio by Rage Against the Machine, but... Alright, you guys done with Dishonored 2, or...?
Yeah.
Krüz?
Dishonor on your family. Dishonor on your cow. Next.
Alright, so I guess that's our symbol to move on to Cartoon Network Battle Crashers. Join Gumball, Steven Universe, Finn, Mordecai, Clarence, and Uncle Grandpa on a crazy interdimensional adventure. Use each character's unique attacks and special moves to fight your way through all the levels. Take on the single-player challenge or grab up to 3 friends for multiplayer action. I stole that off of GameSpot because I wasn't sure how to word it. It's like SpongeBob's Robotic Revenge, which, by the way, it was a half-decent game. Like, people were thinking it was going to be the next Battle for Bikini Bottom-ish game, but it was more like
Battle for Bikini Bottom was such a good game, though.
Oh my god, I still play it.
Yeah.
I love the music in the game.
I have that
That's
entire soundtrack on my computer. Anyway.
Did you ever watch SGB? SGB likes to play SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. It was actually some Call Me Johnny's review of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom.
No, you're gonna have to show me that later.
I will definitely show you that later. But anyway.
But I'm continuing. Like, I remember renting SpongeBob's Robotic Revenge, and I took it over to a friend's house, and one of his crazy friends came over. Well, he wasn't, like, legitimate, like, psychopath or anything. He was just, like, we were stupid kids, alright?
Mm-hmm.
Stupid kid.
It's like SpongeBob's Robotic Revenge with Cartoon Network characters. I like it, and I'm perfectly fine with that, too. Though it is a shame that regular show and Adventure Time are ending soon. But I digress. It's out for the 8th on PS4, Xbox One, and 3DS.
I will have to say, since you brought up Steven Universe, I now have to sing All I Want to Do is See You Turn Into a Giant Woman, a Giant Woman. All I want to be is someone who gets to see a giant woman. But seriously, you guys should totally see Steven Universe. It is amazing. It's 10 minutes per episode. It will not take more of your time ever.
10 minutes? That's 10 minutes I could be spending doing research for this show.
Oh, come on. Can't you just watch Steven Universe? If you do, I will love you, and we will sing Steven Universe songs over and over again. I love Steven Universe. I actually showed it to one of my friends, and he's been hooked on it ever since we watched the series together. I mean, he loves it. He adores it.
What's it with people and SpongeBob?
I mean, what is it with wolves and the howling? It's
Stop talking.
Don't do it. Well, I mean, doesn't mind. But anyway, I forget what.
You love me.
Do I know that? Fan fiction
God, stop.
counts incoming.
It's not
I
fan
do.
fiction. Good lord.
It's
Why do you keep thinking
No,
it's...
no. It was a
What?
YouTube poop that showed like when that was happening in the movie, and it shows fan fiction count, and then it just like explodes.
I know, but I'm telling you right now, it's not fan fiction. They can't Disney cannot take any ideas from outside of their company. It's impossible. So I don't understand why you keep
canon.
It's canon, yes, but it's good canon.
Oh yeah.
Before I go off and die, can Krüz finish his point about the game?
But anyway, I was looking at this game, and I actually think it's interesting. I don't know if I personally get it, but I guess if a child wanted to have some fun, you can get it for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like I forget the exact what it was called. It wasn't just a SpongeBob game. They had SpongeBob, Timmy Turner, and Danny Phantom and Jimmy Neutron, I believe. In
That
the
might
game.
have been Volcano
It was-
Island or something. There's
Yeah, it was
like
it was
Nicktoons
that
Battle for Volcano Island.
for DS. Yeah, that's what it was for DS. And I thought that was pretty cool. But I mean, I'm kind of past thinking where they're in a game where those characters are in it is like automatically cool. And especially because I'm not really in tune with the new Cartoon Network shows. I mean, they don't make cartoons like they used to. Even the new old ones, like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I mean, that was actually good. But like the new ones, I don't know. I don't take to it that much. But it's not to say it's bad. But it's just not special to me anymore. Though I will say, it's a good game, like Scarfy said, for a kid who thinks it's cool. Hey, these characters are in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how it works. God.
Yeah. I mean, it
Farming
worked for
sim.
Nickelodeon, but they didn't do too many games because they
Farming
didn't want to overstay
simulator.
their welcome.
Well, that in Nickelodeon is pretty much like dead to me now. I mean, I haven't seen them do a show. I mean, the last best show they ever did was like SpongeBob, and even that is starting to fall apart.
Like season, you want to avoid seasons 5, 6, 7, and a bunch of 8. Because like season 9 and like season 10 is about to start up. Those are actually half decent.
But I love the episode where they go into in the box and they use their imagination. That
Yeah.
one's a funny episode.
Yes, but I didn't like. You also want 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the best.
Just avoid 5, 6, 7, and 8, and you'll be good.
Yeah, there was sort of a period where it just kind of got like, but it wasn't bad really, ever.
Are you happy
don't
now?
Am I happy? I don't know.
No,
Maybe.
that was the episode title of the one where Squidward was very much clinically depressed. And there
you
was
happy
like a
now?
legitimate suicide joke in there that was almost deliberate.
Wow.
Well, it was
And
deliberate
it never aired on Nickelodeon.
No, it aired. It aired.
But
There was a joke like that before, and I wonder if I die because if I fall from this height.
Yes, but that was actually comedic.
Oh,
It was contextual to the story.
I wumbo, you wumbo,
It-
wumboing.
Like I have that. I have season 3 rented from the library right now. I can start playing that disc in my DVD player.
no. I never saw that episode, though. I completely forgot about it.
Are you happy now, or the Mermaid Man Barnacle Boy 4?
Are you happy now?
Are you happy
know.
now? Yeah, that is.
I'm not
It's
sure if I remember that.
like
I don't remember that airing at all.
Ever hear the creepypasta Squidward suicide?
No.
No. I'm so sorry.
The
No.
closest I know was the episode where Squidward, they made it like Squidward believe he was dead or something. Like they had the funeral and all that or
Yeah.
something.
Because he just turned pale.
My speaking of funeral, my favorite my favorite thing in SpongeBob is when Squidward visits a grave and then Mr. Krabs goes over and it goes,
What a
"Here lies Squidward's hopes and dreams."
What a baby.
That was so funny.
And then it comes to bite him in the ass later when he's crying over the hat that couldn't make him any money. He's like, Squidward just walks by. What a baby.
Smitty Wegger Yerben Man Jensen.
I think that was actually the last episode
one.
that I watched.
Oops. Yeah, but that's don't forget about Man Ray. That was hilarious.
Mama.
We're getting off
Not my
topic.
wallet. It's not my
Alright.
wallet.
It's like, excuse me, sir, but I believe you have dropped your wallet.
Oh my god.
That makes sense to me. What? But I just thought you drop it here. And then like he's like, but it's not mine. And then
It's not
like
my
this
wallet.
whole thing goes. It's like then he goes like, "Are you Patrick Starr?"
Yep.
Yep. And this is your ID.
Yep.
I found your ID in this wallet, and if that's the case, then this must be your wallet.
That makes sense to me.
To me.
Then take it.
It's
It's
not
not
my
my wallet. I laughed so hard at that. The jokes are so good. But
It's a bomb flavored pie.
bomb flavored
bombs.
pop. But anyway, let's move on before we SpongeBobify this episode.
SpongeBobified.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the episode title. SpongeBobified.
No. We're not making that an episode title.
Hey, might do it. All it takes is one reference, and then you're gone.
All right. Well,
All right. We're moving on to the last game of the week with Motorsport Manager, which is it's a highly upgraded version of the mobile game sharing the same name. It's a game where you manage a motorsport team. It's your job to make sure that your headquarters engineers, designers are in top notch so you can create and develop the best possible car. During practice, you work with the drivers and the mechanics to achieve the perfect setup and strategy for qualifying and race day. On race day, you can make split-second decisions regarding strategy and control your team's decisions during key moments in the race, all with the purpose of getting your team to the top of the podium. Yeah, it's a re-release of a mobile game, but this manager is a new concept. Sega. Instead of the same concept being repeatedly released for 12 years. It's ever the 10th on Steam. I like it. I have a few friends who like it. It reminds me of B-Spec mode from Gran Turismo, I think 4, 5, and 6, where basically you were like the crew chief of the car and you would spectate your car and other cars throughout the race so you could do an entire 24-hour race without you having to actually drive the car.
So you could just have it, going
Yeah.
on in the background and not do
But you
anything.
can tell your driver like when to pit, like when to pace up, when to pace down, like conserve stuff.
So that you don't directly control the car.
Yeah, you don't directly control the car. You control the AI controlling the car.
Good enough, I guess. So I'm like, I always want to be control the car. I always want to be control the car.
yes,
Well, I'm broken brain today. I cannot brain today. I has the dumb.
Anyway,
It's my joke.
Shutter said, "Oh God, just like Football Manager, right up Naka Inu's territory."
At least Motorsport Manager is a new concept compared to Football Manager.
So
At least it's a
upgrade,
topic
much
that I
new, much re-release.
By the way, did you guys read my latest chat post?
It's not like it's going to show up on the stream. Oh wait, yes it will. So yes. Kind of have to have the chat open or else no, we can't see the chat.
You do realize I have both the chat and the window open at the same time, and the agenda open at the same time, rather.
Yeah, I have two
Just to make
monitors.
sure
I
Okay,
do
good.
too. Special.
But
So
anyway.
yes, I did see your chat. All right. Your guys' final thoughts?
I'm sorry to say I don't have anything else to say regarding Motorsport Manager. I honestly think Sega should stick to Sonic games. No offense. I
And
do
Jet Set
apologize.
Radio and Outrun and Crazy Taxi.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sega made great
And
arcade games
Shenmue.
back in the day. I think this is cool, but it's kind of something that I would not, my attention span would not allow me to finish or work on. But I do like the concept of like, more like managing your whole team, the pit, and, I guess also booking, or not booking gigs, but like choosing where to qualify and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Seems
Yeah,
pretty
that's
cool to
that's really all I have to say about Motorsport Manager.
All right, so I think that's it for games this week. Not much.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we'll have a lot more next week.
Yeah.
More's coming next week, especially because
Oh yeah.
that's when we actually do get the new Metallica finally.
Hey! Spoilers.
Spoilers if you didn't already know.
I know, but just it's coming out in November. But you kind of just whatever.
Soiled it.
Keep it on the
Soiled
down
it.
low.
Soiled it. Anyway, well, we're going to move it on to movies with Scarfy, and if you'll excuse me for a few moments, I have to go downstairs for a few minutes.
Corona hate.
Sorry about it, guys. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, it seems that one of the biggest directors of Hollywood has confirmed rumors about retirement. Quentin Tarantino. While this may come as a big shot to some, I knew right from the beginning that he was going to retire soon after doing some passionate research about him ages ago. Tarantino has said that he had planned to retire from filmmaking when he is 60 in order to focus on writing novels and film literature. He is skeptical of the film industry going digital, saying if it actually gets to the place where you can't show 35mm film in theaters anymore and everything is digital projection, I won't even make it past 60. He has then stated that he has a plan, although not etched in stone, to retire after making his 10th movie. If I get to the 10th movie, do a good job, and don't screw it up, well, that sounds like a good way to end the old career. As much as an asshole Tarantino is, which, let's be honest, lots of people are, I've been a huge fan of his work, watched and reviewed all of his films, and found themes in it that make Tarantino almost an auteur, even though that word to describe him to some is not really appropriate. I am disappointed that he is retiring from filmmaking. Now, whether he actually really does it or not is anybody's guess. Action speaks louder than words. However, if he does retire after his next 2 film projects, even though time and time again filmmakers have come out of retirement for X amount of reasons to direct films, whatever, at least he left us some pretty heavy films to see, such as Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Inglourious Basterds, and Django Unchained, as well as other films. But it only makes sense to wait for his next 2 films, in which I think it's safe to say will end his career with a bang. What do you think, Krüz?
I kind of agree. While he hasn't done a ton of movies, the ones that he has done have been pretty consistently, if not masterpieces, then pretty well-made, popular movies.
I forgot. Did you see Inglourious Basterds?
I did not see that. I've seen Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Django Unchained, Hateful Eight, and some of Kill Bill.
I've seen all of them, so...
I haven't seen the rest of Kill Bill, but it's going. Maybe the whole Brett Favre bit. It's like the one commercial. Maybe I'll retire next year. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not...
He just keeps saying he retires, but then he just doesn't. But I think he sounds serious this time, but, it depends on how his next film does. Which,
Shudder! That scene was like the weirdest scene I've ever seen. Tarantino.
Is that the fucking guy in the Slipknot mask?
Yes.
Oh god, that was fucking weird.
Oh well, it was also weird that there was anal rape in that film.
Anal
rape. It's like, are you okay? No.
I come back and hear anal rape.
I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
Yeah, this is a tasty burger. But yeah, like, what do you think about Quentin Tarantino retiring once he's done with his 2 films?
I think it's gonna be good for him to go out with a bang, because he's made amazing films, and it's definitely like Pulp Fiction is one of the from a film unit I did.
In my opinion, Pulp Fiction
is one of the top 100 films of all time.
In my opinion, Pulp Fiction is the greatest piece of American cinema I've ever seen, if not the greatest.
Yeah,
it's basically life. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. But what do you think, Naka, regarding Quentin Tarantino's retiring?
Everything's got to come to an end, and I think Tarantino knows best for himself, and he is a goddamn director for sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he is an asshole, but, but in all seriousness, I do think he.
Oh yeah, speaking of Pulp Fiction, English motherfucker, do you speak it?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
All right. No more Pulp Fiction references. But other than that,
you can't go without mentioning that scene.
I will have to say it's going to be a sad thing to see, Samuel L. Jackson not being able to be in Quentin Tarantino films anymore. Because I don't know about you guys, but he's almost been in like every single Quentin Tarantino film, whether it was a cameo or an actual film role.
Yeah, I think he's. I don't know if he was in other. I know he was in at least Pulp Fiction, Django Unchained.
He was in Kill Bill as a cameo role.
Hateful Eight, and then what was the other one? Was he in Reservoir Dogs? I don't remember.
No.
Okay.
That was pre Tarantino. This is post Tarantino.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, wasn't it that Tarantino's film? I'm trying to. It was. What was it? No, I'm forgetting. Because I feel like it was him, but it was like him with someone else.
Right.
But anyway.
If you guys haven't seen The Hateful Eight, I actually got to show Shudder and Krüz The Hateful Eight, and they adored it. They thought it was amazing. I think my favorite line is the whole part is when Daisy tells one of the people to shoot the other one dead, and then Samuel basically goes. And she's shot in the foot, and then she goes, Jesus Christ, and then Samuel goes, oh, you believe in Jesus now, huh, bitch? And that was
that one was great. Also, the blatant slow mo, which was great. You're gonna believe this?
No, he goes like this,
bitch.
No, he goes like, you gonna make a deal with this diabolical bitch? And I was laughing so hard at that.
That was beautiful. Diabolical bitch.
I know. The Hateful Eight is so good.
The Eightful Hate.
The Eightful Hate. But anyway, that's really all I have to say about Tarantino's film. Tarantino's retirement. Honestly, I'm not sure if he's going to do Kill Bill Volume 3, because in the link it's already described if he's going to that he's doing a 1930 Western in Australia, which is interesting.
Ooh. As
well as a non-fictional type film, but we'll see what happens when. To be honest, if Tarantino actually keeps his word, I'll be interested. But I've seen directors come out of retirement before. Yeah. It's not
locked down. I mean, but
I saw Jeff Gordon come out of retirement.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something random, but then wouldn't have been good to bring up. He wasn't the one who accidentally, ran into that guy. Mm-hmm. Was he? Was that him?
Wait, who?
It was one of the racers who accidentally ran someone over.
That was Tony Stewart. We don't talk about that incident because it'll just piss me off.
Wait,
yeah, that was just.
Wait, what about Tony Stewart?
Can we not talk about it?
Yeah, I'll have to look at that later. It was pretty tragic.
Can we not talk about it on stream? Can we just stop talking about him?
It is a sad. Okay, it is a sad.
Tarantino
make the Deadpool sequel.
Okay,
that would be interesting, to say the least.
I don't think he would make a Deadpool sequel, but speaking of Deadpool, I suppose we can move on. Last episode, we talked about how Tim Miller left Deadpool, but apparently has done something a bit more interesting than before. He's decided to make a first ever Sonic the Hedgehog film. Now, to all of you Sonic fans who whipped it out, keep it in your pants or cover it with a towel.
There are like children here.
This is interesting news in of itself, and I can get behind Tim Miller doing a CGI Sonic the Hedgehog film. But sadly, there's not enough interesting things I have to say, because while I like certain Sonic games just fine, there really isn't anything in particular that stands out to me that is credible to make an actual Sonic movie. Will it do good? Will it do bad? I don't know that either, but what I can say is that while I'm not a hardcore Sonic fanboy, I hope the film interests the Sonic fanboys nonetheless. What do you guys have to say?
if
I'm not really
anything,
sure about how this one would work because I know there's a story, obviously Sonic, but I've only seen it like in segments and out of order. So the only way I could imagine this would be an idea that would have been in like a, I don't know, some commercial where, kids playing their DS or something, and then he just pops out of the game and starts running around. I mean, that's the only way I could think of them basing the movie off of. But making an entire movie out of that versus just a commercial, I'm not really sure how they're going to pull that off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know.
What do you think, Naka?
what is if what makes sense to me is like if they took the story of Sonic 06 and then made that into the Sonic movie.
Oh God, no.
Because that was more of a movie than anything. I mean, did you watch?
Yeah,
the
but
20-minute
but the story is so flawed. It's dreadful, that story. If they ever decided to make Sonic 06 into a movie, that'd be the worst way to go about it.
Well, then which Sonic story would you think would be best? It's got to be canon.
I don't know. Just not Sonic 06.
I remember now, as I forgot about this. Don't worry. What was it? I had one of the Sonic comics, and it was one of the old ones with what's her name, Sally, and the other people, Anton, and then a bunch of the other ones.
I think
would be
that's
a
Sonic
cool
Underground
thing. That
you're
was
talking about.
Yeah, that was Sonic Underground. That would be a cool thing to see as a story, but with it being like CG live action, not really sure that's what it's gonna be. Say something. Sonic drive-in movie. Well, that's one way to do it.
I would agree to that, but there's just, I don't know. There's nothing really that, tickles my fancy. I'm not like a hardcore Sonic fanboy, and, I understand that Sonic is a very, very popular video game character, but there's just, I don't know what it is. There's just nothing that really, wants me to see this film, and I don't know why.
With the reputation of Sonic games nowadays, it's just kind of like you should probably choose something else to make a movie out of.
And not only that, like, I understand the director is a very well-known director, having directed one of the greatest, filthiest superhero films ever made. But to go from a rated R superhero comedy to possibly a PG kid-friendly film, it just looks like it's destined to, be average at best. And I don't
it's like it just seems like a desperate move to me because he got, he would have been directing Deadpool 2, but now he's got to do something else. And I mean, you gotta maybe stay relevant, but I mean, there's better options out there than trying to make Sonic into a movie.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's really all I have to say about Sonic the Hedgehog. What do you guys think?
Meh, out of 10.
Krüz?
Gotta go fast.
No, Krüz. Really. What do you think?
Yeah. As I said, like, I'm not really sure how they're gonna pull this off and make it, entertaining and have it be canon too.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd have to, to me, they would have to do the Sonic Underground kind of timeline.
I totally agree.
That's my favorite timeline, anyways.
I totally agree to that. So, do you guys want me to move on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been meaning to talk about this subject on set for a long-ass while, and now that it's brought to my attention, I'm going to need my Wolf Brothers to literally keep me recomposed and hold my hind legs so that I'm not rage-quitting and slamming the door like an immature bratty kid.
Holding.
Krüz.
Holding.
All right, thank you.
10-yard penalty.
Okay.
Second down.
Please forgive me, but I've never felt such genuine salt over a product that has literally made me so riled up since the moment it released its trailer. With that being said, some photos of Disney's Beauty and the Beast 2017 have been released and have caused severe animosity within my heart, especially with certain character designs. But I'll just be right up front and say that I'm not a fan of the new Beast design, but that's not really what I want to focus on. What I want to focus on is this. Walt Disney's Beauty and the Beast is by far my favorite Disney princess animated film, or Disney Renaissance film, or classical Disney film, whatever you want to call it. I looked at the trailer of this film, which will be discussed either until Disney releases another trailer that we can talk about this season or next season, which we'll get to when we come around to it. I see genuinely no reason as to why this film is being made at all. The casting choice for Belle, in my opinion, is a horrible casting choice. It's basically Emma Watson as Hermione in her own film. The production design, where you can't tell if it's CG or practical effects, is more than concerning. The other characters of the castle look CGI as fuck. Does that mean the castle is CG, or is it a to scale castle? I don't know, and it bothers me that I can't tell.
Sometimes they make like the entire scenes of places. They'll like use one room, and then the rest of it is just CG. I mean,
But
that's possible.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Emma Watson, tell me you do not hear Hermione in that movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of like the same thing with Daniel Radcliffe. Like you can't. I mean, he was pretty good in Woman in Black, the first one. But
Well,
I mean,
he does
spit on me
have
once.
he can do a really good American accent. I've seen it before.
but I mean, it's kind of like
I've been there when he's done his American accent. He accidentally spit on me.
oh wow.
well, that's an honor, I guess.
It was a Broadway play, but that's another story for another
Oh
day.
yeah, was it The Business without even
How
trying?
to succeed in business without really trying. We got front row
Yeah.
seats to this thing.
That was pretty good. That looks pretty funny.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't seen the whole thing, but I saw that with.
But anyway,
Anyway.
can you guys really
it's hard.
tighten my legs, because I have to get to this paragraph, and
I mean, spit it out.
just and I was hoping that I can just have the floor all to myself for this one, and yeah.
I'll just say one last
Go.
thing that Emma Watson has kind of, to a lesser degree, the same thing or stigma as Daniel Radcliffe has with being associated with Harry Potter for so long, and also the fact that Bella is supposedly in France, so I don't know if she's going to try to pull off a French accent or not in any way, because
Anyway.
she doesn't really have a French accent, but
Okay.
still, you have the whole bonjour scene.
Before I channel my wolf rage, and I am cracking my knuckles for this, let me say this right now. I know Disney works hard. I know that it takes a lot of effort to make live action pieces work, and I know that a lot of time is put into them, and you could even make the argument that most, if not all, Disney live action animation adaptations aren't that horrendous. See, that's not what really bugs me. What really bugs me is that the animated film was able to be nominated for an Oscar for Best Picture. Not Best Animated Feature, Best Picture. So I'm going to say this right now. What the fuck is this movie going to accomplish? Other than money, what the hell is this movie going to accomplish? And everyone is saying that the film is going to be great. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if it's actually good, because right now I've never felt more genuine software product in my entire life. It's so the fuck out of here! Get out of here! Oh, I'm so fucking done with this movie. I just want it to be done and over with so that Disney hasn't already disgraced its fans for the original just like it disgraced mine. This movie looks gay. This looks really gay. This is lame. This is lame as fuck. I have nothing else to say. I'm just going to let my co-host express themselves on the project. With that being said, Krüz, Naka, you can let go now.
All right, well, minimal damage, except maybe some crying children in the background. I don't know. I thought, okay, my first thought was that Emma Watson, she looked good. I mean, when does she not look good, though? But it's like, she looks good in that, kind of role. But then I started looking at the other ones, and I'm just like, I'm kind of annoyed with how the Beast looks. It just looks... I don't know. It's just... I think they could pull it off with the look of the animation. Like that they could pull off, but I'm not sure about really anything else as far as, Emma Watson's a great actress, but I don't know if she's the right choice. I don't think she's the right choice for this role. And I don't know, did they announce who is the voice actor or whatever kind of actor for the Beast?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, here's this thing. It's gay in context. It's like, yeah, it's people have been saying that
I'm sorry.
forever.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guys.
Right.
I mean, I do apologize.
Here's the thing.
But to be honest, I'm gay too, and I'm
Yeah.
just saying it because
Yeah. It's like, it's okay if you say it, if you are it, but I mean, Five Finger Death Punch, they used like the word faggot in one of their songs, and it's like it's in context because it's like it's like, shut the fuck up, you faggot, I'll break your fucking bones. It's kind of like, it's okay. It's a slip of the tongue in context sometimes. And I mean, to be fair, I don't use it. I don't use either of those words
I don't
a lot, but I mean,
keep in mind, I don't.
There's no other word you can think of that's kind of like the only way to think of. It's just gay. And the only thing I really consider gay is like Black Veil Brides and bullshit like that. Honestly, because it's like they show a picture of Rob Halford. Rob Halford is literally gay, and he is still more metal than you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
But
anyway,
I'm sorry. I just had to let out some rage, and I bared my teeth. I'm sorry.
Hey, he bared his fangs first.
Anyway, Naka, what do you have to say to this?
On shot first. I am completely disinterested in this movie.
Oh God.
Incredibly, I'm not really that big of a fan of Disney anymore. I'll be honest.
Thank you for holding me down so that I didn't rage quit the show.
It's like rage quit. I thought it was like he's doing like the Francis thing. It's like, I'm so fucking sick of people calling me fat, and he breaks the keyboard over his head. God, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Sorry. Especially because he's faking it. He just does that for fun.
I do pardon my language. I just want to say that right now. I'm just letting my inner, Southern California language out, because I can choose not to use specific words, and because I know that certain specific words offend people, and I do apologize. It's just I did not know how to get the point across. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like I want to say it's acceptable. Like I'm not really for or against it. Like with the thing about the word retarded, spread the word N-word. I really don't.
Retarded doesn't bother me,
I really don't give a fuck about that, because it's like, well, you're choosing to take offense to that because retarded is a very broad term. Gay is actually specific because it no longer, or not very much anymore, has its archaic meaning of being happy, or what do you want to say it? Like because Dropkick Murphys used it. He dressed himself quite gay, which guess means fancy or flamboyant in that case. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of weird word. Mm-hmm. So I just don't say it because there's other words to use for me. But I mean, it's like there's a line where people are just too sensitive for things, and then when it's actually offensive, like unless it's used in a hateful, like discriminatory,
or it's
direct context, then taking offense to it, that's your fault.
Right.
Unless it's saying you're like saying you're gay, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, depending on how you say it. You're saying you deserve to die because you're gay. Saying something like that, that's
that's
not okay.
Yeah,
it's just
I
people
didn't
need to realize
you, Naka, I hope.
where.
Oh no, you
offense.
didn't.
No. Yeah. I was just making sure.
I support freedom of speech.
I used to use word garbage. Yeah, I use word garbage a lot, especially when talking about sports and the Yankees.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh God, Twitter. I mean, even though I have to admit it was great to see that Mike Wallace was #1 trending topic for a while on Twitter.
No, I'll admit earlier today I almost went on a bit of a rant because of something political, but that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to get into a 35-minute rant about it.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, those things are all over the moments. I mean, it's like Trump being rushed off stage. It's like, we're not going to get overly into politics in this episode, obviously, because this is where you're coming to get a break from that. I mean, we're here to rant about more important and less trivial things.
Yes,
like
that's
games.
and movies and nothing having to do with politics.
I don't give a fuck about politics.
But anyway,
It's a corn song, by the way.
I do apologize. Yeah, I just hope that I didn't offend anyone on the chat. I did not know how to get the message across, and just to let you guys know, I very rarely use that word when I have to describe something. So
Same.
Yeah.
I do apologize
it's
for
like,
that.
for me, I just don't understand. It's not that I don't understand the usage of it, but I'm like, for me, I'm like, if I want to describe something, I'm going to describe it in a way I understand it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's gay. I'm like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Does that mean it's flamboyant or that it doesn't work or what?
Yeah.
It's like, what sense of it
All right.
does it work?
I think we should just stop talking about this because I think we over exemplified it long enough. And,
Yeah, I mean, it's just that was it was kind of fun. I mean, just have a change and like have an actual like explosion in our episode. I mean, I don't want to say it's a good thing necessarily, but it was entertaining.
So you were like smiling when it was happening, weren't you?
For a second, I'm just kind of like, whoa, shit! He's actually are you actually mad, bro?
Yeah, I kind of at this project I kind of am. But anyway, so you guys don't want to see this. You guys are just not interested in seeing this new.
I don't want to
unless-
see any live-action Disney movie.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to see this one day and broadcast it on our show because furry. But anyway,
I mean,
yeah, I know.
well, what do you mean, Beating the Beast?
Yeah, and then compare the original to the actual.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to compare because I mean, if nothing else, we can just roast it. I mean, that's always an option.
Yes, Shaggy,
Yeah.
let's have a gay old time, which means happy.
Gay old. I flattened and oiled my hair. He dressed himself quite gay.
But anyway,
Editor.
But anyway, sorry, don't know what happened to my voice there.
You went on a
There we
bit of
go.
a rant.
Yes, I did. Anyway, let's move on to our movies that are coming soon to theaters. While I don't really prefer sucking up to celebrating Christmas before Thanksgiving is even over, I will confess the film seems like a fun time regardless. Almost Christmas is an upcoming American Christmas comedy drama film directed and written by David E. Tauber. The film stars Kimberly Elise Monique, Nicole Ari Parker, Gabrielle Union, Jesse Usher, Danny Glover, Omar Epps, John Michael Higgins, and Romani Malco. The plot summary is about as basic as you can get. It's about a dysfunctional family who gathers together for their first Thanksgiving for 5 days since their mom died. So wait, it's about a movie celebrating Thanksgiving, not the coming Christmas. That's a really confusing title. Nevertheless, there isn't really something in the trailer that I can really suggest you to see here. Sure, it has some good laughs, and Danny Glover is always a lot of fun, but half of the time I feel like it's just there for those who want some holiday giggles.
Mm-hmm.
But who am I to stop you? Film releases November 11th, but there's not a whole lot I can suggest here. But, yeah.
I think I want to say like it's not that it looks particularly good, but I thought some of the parts of the trailer looked pretty funny. Like it's kind of like I forget the movie title, but it had some of the same actors in it. I think it was I don't know this. So the woman, like most of the family is black, but then she has a white boyfriend. It's kind of like that, and then they're the part where their dad and the fiance are racing in go-karts and shit. I forget the name of the movie. If someone knows it, please remind me because it was really funny.
Mario Kart.
But yeah, that's what kind of reminds me of, and that I find it pretty funny because it's like he's like, "You locked me out of the house." Oh no, I'm melting.
By the way, Danny Glover, I think, is a really good actor. He was in Angels in the Outfield. I actually enjoyed that film.
That was great.
It was great. I actually liked it. And then he was also in The Royal Tenenbaums, Wes Anderson film. Great movie. I would highly recommend it if you like The Grand Budapest Hotel. But you know,
Grand Budapest was a great movie.
Oh, it was. It was fantastic. I Shudder saw The Grand Budapest and he enjoyed it.
I watched it with you.
Oh, you loved it, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it was a great movie.
What was your favorite part in Grand Budapest anyway?
There's too many good parts to tell. I mean, like, were they Nazis or were they like neo-Nazis?
It was kind of It was kind of like made up to but it was kind of like to resemble that type of thing.
It was
But
just
anyway,
the whole
but
premise of the movie was.
I love the part where he's like, I thought I was supposed to be a fucking faggot, and he goes, "You are, but you're bisexual." That was hilarious to me.
Well, kind of technically. Oh, I just realized something because I keep getting mixed up between his guys, Dane DeHaan, the one from the Metallica movie, and then
Through the Never.
Yeah, it was not as a movie not great, even though some of the visuals were really cool.
I have the soundtrack.
Yeah, and Creeping Death was amazing live because, and then I also love that they used the double bass more in Hit the Lights because that sounds really good.
Okay.
But anyway, I just realized that the guy who's in this next one, he was the same guy from Stranger Things. I just realized that, and I'm like, whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah, but I'm not a huge fan of I have nothing to say about Almost Christmas, and heck, it's already a pain enough that we have Christmas songs playing before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's like,
and we also had Christmas merchandise being sold before Thanksgiving.
I mean,
Christmas advertisements
the Rite
before
Aid, they're
Halloween.
selling Christmas stuff at the same time as Halloween. I mean, to be fair, because they have to get rid of all the they have to sell the rest of all the Halloween crap, which is why candy is like half off and stuff like that now.
Right.
Pink Floyd, just another brick in the wall.
Well, to bring up the Grand
Saw the
Budapest
Wall.
thing, and it was like, whenever somebody asks, it's like, are you gay? It's like, well, you're half right. It's like, well, technically you're half right.
The Grand Budapest, that was, I just remembered that. That was a really good movie.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to do a live stream of the Royal Tenenbaums and see how you guys feel about that film, but that also stars Danny Glover. But Almost Christmas, yeah, I have no interest in seeing this one. I kind of just want to move on to the next one. What do you think, Krüz?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's talk about our next film. Shut In is an upcoming English language French thriller film directed by Farron Blackburn, who is known for making episodes of Doctor Who and Daredevil, and written by Christina Hodson. The film stars Naomi Watts, Oliver Platt, Charlie Heaton, David Cubitt, and Jacob Tremblay. Following a recent accident that took the life of her husband and left her son paralyzed, a psychologist, Naomi Watts, finds herself isolated in her home caring for her own child. Cut off from the outside world during a deadly storm, she starts to believe someone is inside her house trying to harm them. An interesting premise, but I regret to say that the thriller film doesn't necessarily hold my interest for very long either. I'm sure there may be something remarkable about it, but nothing fancy or original that doesn't feel like every winter thriller story I haven't heard before. For this one, I'd see reviews of it, I'd give it a pass. But for you guys, it comes out November 11th.
It looks kind of interesting, but I'm just... It just kind of seems weird to me they're trying to turn it into a horror movie. Because I've seen part of the movie Hush, where it's the guy trying to break into a deaf woman's house, and she fends him off. But I mean, it's just some of the things just don't seem to fit together with me. Like, I mean, the paralyzed kid, and then she tries to adopt that kid, and he runs away, and then he's haunting their house. It just doesn't seem to follow any chain of logic to me. But we'll see how that plays out.
It's like somebody just like plopped all of them horror movie cliches or like thriller movie cliches, just plopped them on a keyboard, and then the end result was this movie.
Pretty much, yeah. I have little to say about this film as well. I do apologize. It's just that the other two films are more interesting than these two. What do you guys think?
I've already said my opinion.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm a fan of horror, but this just kind of... I feel like if this is trying to be horror, it just takes way too long to try to set everything up.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens.
So do you guys want me to move on then?
Yeah.
Okay then. Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. Man, I have no words to give to this film other than wow. From the moment I've seen the trailer on the internet and in theaters, it has almost captivated me to see the film nonetheless. Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk is a 2016 war drama film directed by Ang Lee, director of films such as Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Brokeback Mountain, and Life of Pi, and written by Jean-Christophe Castelli, based on the novel of the same name by Ben Fountain. The film stars Joe Alwyn, Kristen Stewart, Garrett Hedlund, Vin Diesel, Steve Martin, and Chris Tucker. Before I get into the synopsis, let me talk about the trailer. And it's rare that I say this, but the trailer to this film is brilliant. Not only is it well shot, not only is it well made, it's also well felt. And I think this trailer is nothing short of fantastic. This trailer was discussed in our season 1 finale along with Zach, and I do think he felt like he wanted to see this film as well. Billy Lynn is a 19-year-old army specialist fighting in Iraq. After he and his comrades barely survive a tense battle that receives broad news coverage, they are celebrated as heroes and brought back home by the Department of Defense. In the United States, they go on a promotional tour across the country, which ends in a spectacular halftime show at a Thanksgiving Day football game, where sadly they must return to Iraq to fight the war once again. There, Lynn recounts the tragic moments of the war and loses his sergeant in a firefight. I almost wish that this trailer came out when Shudder was on, but if he is, man, I think it would have been perfect to express how he felt to be honored for the worst day of your life. But with that being said, all I can say is that this trailer gives me chills. I'm interested wholeheartedly into it, but I want to be sure I can recommend it to you guys as well and see if you get my same vibe. The film is released on November 11th, and I sure hope you guys take some investment into this. I mean, other than Hulk, Life of Pi, and possibly Brokeback Mountain if you're straight, no offense, what can go wrong here?
Or is it that one? I think it was the one Geico commercial. It's like, have you ever seen Brokeback Mountain? No. That's all. It's just like, no, I haven't.
Okay,
But,
guys. Chat. Enough with the Shutter memes. Okay, can we talk about this film? I don't mean to argue, but you know. But anyway, Nako, what do you think regarding Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk? The trailer.
Like the trailer, it looks really good. And I don't know if it's just me, I'm just somewhat captivated by war films, whether it be like World War II or Cold War or anything like that.
I don't mean to. Can you put Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk in the chat again? I don't mean to keep it, but we gotta get the chat back on focus. I'm sorry, guys.
Save this for this is going to be something we have to get trending on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No offense, but we need to talk about something else. What did you think about this trailer, Krüz?
I kind of like it goes between him, what he's actually seeing, and then what it causes him to remember, because like this brings up, this screams Sabaton almost, like which is one of the songs I know in Swedish, En livstid I krig, which is a lifetime of war. And it hits it right in the feels if you understand what it means, because you have to. The English version is, the lyrics aren't as good the way they translated it, but for the English, it's like, so see me as a father, a son who will never come home, but who will mourn me. And it's like,
I wanted to know what Shudder opinion was on this particular trailer. And for the record, yes, I know the trailer stars Kristen Stewart, but this is post-Twilight now, so hopefully she's learned from her terrible acting. Then again, maybe not. But I almost want to see this film for the fact that it's based on an adaptation novel. Hopefully it'll be better than Life of Pi. I didn't necessarily like that film, and I honestly think Fiber Kitty would play a better
Richard Parker.
Richard Parker.
Like, so they named him Richard Parker, and they named the guy Thirsty.
Yeah, but what do you guys think?
Yeah, again, it screams Sabaton to me. Like the even though, like, to hell and back about Audie Murphy, is like one of the most decorated soldier, I think, in American history. That's like, you're being honored for courage, but it's also was some of the worst days of your life, and when you're just honestly, I mean, you can only imagine what you go through in those moments. But you know, you to come out of that and to have been like done such above and beyond actions above and beyond the Call of Duty. That's something that's it's the biggest honor I think you can have. So I'm really excited for this movie too.
I wholeheartedly agree to that. So are you excited for this movie, Naka?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure, but anyway, do you guys want me to move on?
Sure.
Okay. Let me move on to our last and final trailer. This is a film that I think has gotten everyone's attention because upon looking upon Rotten Tomatoes, much like Zootopia before its release date, it has failed to garnish a single negative review as of right now as I'm speaking to you. Arrival is a 2016 American science fiction drama film directed by Denis Villeneuve and written by Eric Heisserer. I'm butchering this, but whatever. Based on the short story of Your Life by author Ted Chiang. The film stars Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Forrest Whitaker, Michael Stuhlbarg, and Zima. When multiple mysterious spacecrafts touch down across the globe, an elite team is put together to investigate, including linguist Louise Banks, mathematician Ian Donnelly, and U.S. Army Colonel Weber. Mankind teeters on the verge of global war as everyone scrambles for answers as Banks discovers an alien language that they use to translate a message and to find out what they're saying. Banks, Donnelly, and Weber will take a chance that could threaten their lives if they don't discover it sooner before armies of all nations try to bring these spacecrafts down before they can uncover the life form's true intentions. Is it just me, or am I getting a Close Encounters of the Third Kind ordeal with this film?
It was fourth kind, and yes. It's fourth kind, and yes.
Anyway, this trailer is gorgeous. After taking a look at the lighting and cinematography, all of it is breathtaking. My favorite shot of the trailer is when they zoom into the spacecraft as soft clouds hover across the skies. To be honest, before reviews of this film were being released, I honestly had no idea what to expect with this, but after seeing the reviews and the trailer on top of it, I am now more interested in seeing this film where is going to go because of its fascinating premise and how much mad reviews it's been getting, and nothing but. However, we'll see what happens when the film is released to the public. Critics are one group of people, but people entirely are a different story. Either way, the film comes out November 11th as well. What do you guys think?
I remember watching this. Sorry.
I think this is really cool, like you said, with the lighting and how, it's not just a alien slasher thing like what is it? Cloverfield or Alien or Cloverfield. It's not just one of those, but they're actually trying to, it's more of how the Earth is dealing with it, like political side, like with, it's like Russia just like killed one of their own to keep this secret, which, it's kind of like we have to stop. You have to not be going to war with each other. And then you also have to figure out what the hell the aliens are doing. Mm-hmm. And that's also that they don't show them right away. They just sort of leave it mysterious. I think that's a really cool setup. So that really interested me.
Yeah. What do you think, Naka?
So I'm gonna talk about what Krüz just said. The less they saw until like they did the big reveal of the alien. That's what made it better. Like there's sort of like three kinds of horror games where there's one where the monster just tries to scare you. Two, the monster you don't see as much of the monster and it only goes a bloogie woogie woo at certain times. And then there's the third one where all the monsters just show up at once and try and go bloogie woogie woo, but it's going to happen. I very much like this second concept. But I'm actually really interested in this. When I was watching the trailer, I remember watching it a few weeks ago, I think, for one of the earlier shows.
I want to say yes, but at the same time, like I was looking at this trailer now, I think I'm more so interested because of the fact that everyone on Rotten Tomatoes is giving it mad reviews just as much as they gave Zootopia mad reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You bring up 10 Cloverfield Lane in the chat, and honestly, it's a film that I can only watch once. I don't really think I can watch it again.
When I watched it in theaters, I was like, it comes right out of the gate. It was just like I was sort of like shaking after because of the adrenaline rush afterwards. It's if you've read or happen to have read The Compound, it's a similar story to that. But so like the air outside is toxic, and like it's kind of like, are they actually protecting us now? And I mean, the ending is badass too, and it's not like overdone. But I agree. Kind of like Naka touched on, the less you see, the more entertaining it is, or more scary it is. Like with like one of my favorite movies, I give this so much praise because it was so good, The Conjuring, because you don't see the demon at all.
You brought up The Conjuring a lot. Is it really like one of your all-time favorite films?
Oh my god, it was amazing. And because it's just done the old school way, no CGI, no green screen, no bullshit, just straight up acting, straight up good acting. And like even the scary scenes where they show her face, it's like it's either makeup or like really well done makeup. And like, so it's like they played on the less you see, the scarier it is, because you don't know necessarily what it is yet.
Right. Okay.
And that keeps it interesting. And yeah, John Goodman in Cloverfield Lane, he did a really good job playing the old, over possessive, drunk, sort of father figure kind of guy.
He
did a really good job.
I like John Goodman.
Yeah, he's great.
All right.
Amazing person overall. Where's our audience? People that have eyes.
Yeah, there's. Anyway, I suppose we can move on to our coming attractions. Speaking of aliens, let's move on to our first coming attraction, which is the Ryan Reynolds film, simply known as Life. Is it just me, or am I getting an alien, with Sigourney Weaver type thingamabob in this certain trailer? What do you guys think?
Let's see, my notes, I say space, life on Mars. Holy shit.
Hey, you know what we need more of? Space.
Okay, but seriously, guys, what do you guys think of this?
Am I allowed to talk about like what's talked about in the trailer, or?
Yeah, you can talk about what's talked about in the trailer.
Also, holy shit, life on Mars.
Is there life on Mars? Okay.
And then potentially the danger of what this life could do. Thingy-bling. It's really interesting. I like it.
Oh, okay. What do you think, Naka? I mean, I just said Naka. Krüz, what do you think, Krüz?
I kind of like that it's like they kind of keep it mysterious, but I'm not really sure what the life or whatever they're looking for or what they're gonna find. It does bring up a good point, like let it be known like that, or the announcer says in the over the intercom, he's like that we don't want to fuck this up, like we've been killing each other for no reason, and this interaction now between us and this whatever life form this is will determine our fate, like if we get destroyed or if we survive.
By the way,
which
you
I
should
think
totally
is really cool.
Yeah, by the way, you should totally see Alien with Sigourney Weaver. You will enjoy the hell out of that film. I just want to say that right now. But anyway, do you guys want me to move on?
Sure.
Let's move on to another film that begins with one word. Gifted. I actually am finding myself liking this particular film. I mean, like a person who's literally gifted in a way where she basically, has basically, like she's basically, a genius, but this parent wants her to live like a normal life, which is interesting. Like, because you think, well, because she's gifted, I mean, like, shouldn't she live, a privileged life where she can go to college and all that good stuff? But I don't know. What do you guys think about this particular one?
I'm confused.
Really?
Like, I'm just like, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just confused on like what's gonna go on in the movie. I don't know.
Yeah. Is it? The other thing that confused me was that like you see the grandmother in court trying to get custody, and it says she does, but then the daughter is still with, you know.
Well, it's
father.
probably just out. It's probably just out of context with the film.
Like, what's his name? I
Chris
know
Evans.
that. Chris Evans. I know that actor because he plays Captain America. I know that, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Beyond the Wayward Pines, or The Place
Right.
Beyond the Pines. That's it. It kind of reminds me of that with the whole, it's the estranged father who's trying to, do things for his family, but they don't want him back.
I totally see where you're getting.
Yeah.
But other than
because he brings them a crib, and then they're like, "What the hell are you doing? Get out of my house!" But this should be an interesting movie. I don't know if I'm gonna really go out of my way to see it, but it does have an interesting premise, I think.
right.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's all I can say regarding this film. What do you guys think regarding? All right, I think that's all. I think we can move on to our next film.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm not excited for announcing this next one, guys. I do apologize, but honestly, all right. Sing.
No. Get it out of
Do
here.
we have to? It's
Yeah,
like
we have to.
It's like they made that fucking, car karaoke stupid fucking thing into a movie. Like, why?
I don't know. It has Taron Egerton in it, and Taron Egerton is a fantastic actor. He was in Kingsman: The Secret Service.
That was great movie.
Oh, it was great, but I don't really think this movie is going to be that good. I was cringing at the songs they were singing. And the songs that they were ruining. I am sorry, but this film just blows. This trailer just blows. I'm pretty sure the film will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really all I can say.
Yeah, it's like Glee all over again. I'm just like, God, please. That show is just cancerous.
Yeah, what do you think, Naka?
Somebody
Naka.
goddamn shoot me.
You really don't want to see this film, do you?
Absolutely not.
Well,
Also, I have something else to note. Really, Eminem? You had to make your own version of Dream On by Aerosmith? Are you fucking kidding me?
wait,
No
Eminem.
one except Steven Tyler has the right to sing that song.
Yeah, no. Like, he's done a remix version of Dream On. It's in the trailer
No.
that's in the agenda.
No. Shun.
Yeah,
Shun.
Yeah.
Sean, you are being voted off the island.
Yeah, no offense, but Steven Tyler is the only one who can sing Dream On. I'm sorry, he's the only one who can do it.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of owns the right to it, and
There's no one else can do that well like he can.
and then the bunnies were singing Anaconda. It was just
What in
oh,
the fuck?
Oh,
What in
God.
the fuck? No. Oh my god. Yeah, that reminds me what I just saw in the chat of the thing of best 7 seconds on YouTube, and it's just Tim Allen noise like over. It's like
No, wait, no. It goes like this. Huh? Like that. But anyway, what do you guys think about this film? Do you do you just want it to be purged out of your mind?
Yes.
I just don't even want to. I don't want to. Just put in quarantine, please.
Okay. Do you guys want me to move on?
Do we have quarantine in set?
We have
No,
quarantine.
We don't.
Quarantine.
Well, we have other films that will work as a quarantine if you like that.
Just
That'll
put
work.
it somewhere. If not, then just toss it in the nearest, car compactor.
Do you want me to move on to the next one?
Yes.
All right.
This
Pets.
one looks awesome.
Need I remind you that this is actually has the same actor from Lord of the Rings who played Merry.
Mary.
But yeah. What do you guys think about this trailer? I can't tell who's the bad guy in this trailer. I honestly can't.
Yeah. And I think that's a pretty interesting thing because, it's like he builds a cage, to try to keep
Yeah.
this woman
It's like,
in his
I
basement.
knew he was a
but
Facebook
then,
stalker.
But then, well, it's bad because he stalks her, captures her, and holds her against her will. But then, this isn't bad of her, but she tries to, either kill herself or knock herself out in the cage, and then she's like mocking him and messing with him while he's keeping her in there. Which, I mean, it's right of her to do, to try to escape. But there's, I guess, there might be a point where it goes a little too far. That's what makes it interesting to me. That it's like, who's the real psycho here?
Right.
And it's like, who's really, it's like, because the guy obviously realizes he made a mistake because he's like, I'm trying to save you. But then she kind of takes control of the situation. Well, like, not literally, but, she threatens to kill herself. But it's like, I that's what really interests me about this.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I'm not too sure if the interesting premise warrants of an actual view for me. What do you think, Naka?
I don't want to see this movie.
Really?
Like, I thought it was just going to be about the story about a Facebook stalker, and then I see the point in the trailer, and I'm just like, holy shit, no. No.
Wait,
No.
Are you scared by this trailer, or?
I don't want this movie.
Well, I mean,
Could you go into detail as to why you're kind of shocked by this film?
It's like, Jesus Christ, it's like, what is his point? Is he trying to make her a sex slave or something for his own will, or what? What's going on?
I think it's kind of like he's, it's this typical, guy doesn't like that his girlfriend dumped him, and then he stalks her and eventually like kidnaps her, but it goes on to like the thing that no one ever sees, like what happens while he actually has her captive. And I think that's something that's interesting that we haven't gotten to really see much of before.
Right.
And I mean, I'm one for horror of any kind, but I like that it's kind of like it seems to take a turn, and then being that he locks her up, and then it goes even further to that they have this what do you call it, war of nerves back and forth.
By the way, I can't tell if the chat is reacting to our last trailer or this trailer.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
If think anyone, it might be a little both.
Right.
But I mean, if you're against this, I mean, horror is not for everybody. But I mean, this one actually looks pretty good to me. Like, it's unique in a way.
Just so we can get this particular vote out of the way, and I don't mean to be off topic here. Which one would you rather watch, Zootopia or Sing? Zootopia.
Is that really a question that you have that I have to answer?
Yes.
Was this a burning question?
Yes, it's a rhetorical question. Just answer it.
It's Zootopia.
Of course. Yeah, everyone is just react.
I think it's the last one.
Yeah, I think it's that one. But other than that, I have no interest in either seeing. My thoughts on Pet is kind of but anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to our next trailer, which is Renegades. I don't know how to feel about
one-word movies.
I don't know, but I actually put them in order because I thought it would be funny that way.
SPD.
Pet Renegades.
Yeah, but anyway, what do you guys think about this particular trailer? I don't know what to think of it, honestly.
I think it's kind of funny, at least in the beginning. I'm sorry that it's like, and you, because J.K. Simmons is awesome. It's he's like, and you thought driving a tank halfway through whatever this place was called, I forget.
Subwuffer,
I wanted to say, I was going to say Saratoga because like Tony Sergey's he showed up at the Ravens game today, and I'm just confused. But anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. It's like, do you think I'm an idiot? Yes. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Like military humor. I mean,
yeah.
Do you think I could have my raise early?
Oh, that. Could you pay me in advance? That's the best laugh of all.
You serious?
I love the. He's like, "You serious?"
Oh, are you referencing
Spider-Man
yeah.
2, yeah.
Oh,
Anyone care about what I want?
Oh, I thought you were referencing The Princess and the Frog, where, the alligator's laughing, and then it goes to a part where you can only see his eyes, and he's, like, laying on the ground, and you see his eyes, and he goes, y'all serious? Y'all serious? So, I thought that was funny, but... Renegades is interesting enough,
Like,
but
you
I
want
don't
a
know if I
position?
see
You
it.
want a leadership position? Anyone care about what I want?
All right.
I do.
I have a
Shut up.
question about this movie. Will
Shut
we
up.
get a cameo
Okay.
appearance by Renegade Rue?
Maybe.
That's what I wanted to know. You know
Maybe
what?
presents the
You know what? I wanted to tweet that out to Renegade because, I'm not
Do
too
it.
sure if he'd see it.
That's
So
your job.
I'm gonna. So you guys don't mind me. You guys keep talking about this trailer. I'm gonna send it to Renegade Brew and see if he actually goes see it because to me, this particular trailer looks interesting enough. Oh, and do I need to even mention that it has J.K. fucking Simmons?
Yeah,
You
and
just
him
improved
as a
any
drill
movie.
sergeant, I think that's gonna. I would see it just for that, because I mean, he was great in Whiplash with the music instructor.
And he was also great in Zootopia as Mayor
Mayor
Lionheart.
Lionheart. And of course,
It's so funny how we furries know every single character in Zootopia.
oh yeah, you're like.
I can name almost every single character in Zootopia.
I was watching it because we were supposed to watch Sharknado for something on Halloween with a few friends, and we ended up watching Zootopia instead. And they're like, "How many?" I'm like, they see me referencing all of it, and I'm like, "How many times have you seen this?" I'm like, "A lot." I mean, a few times. Yeah, I've seen it a lot. That's all.
Yeah.
I just know it. Okay. But, I've watched the compilation of best moments of J.K. Simmons from Spider-Man, which is great. It's like, we have clients who can't wait. They're about to.
Okay.
And then the YouTube poop remix of him laughing. it's so great. It's like my squirrel got hit in the ass by a mad scientist. You're all I got.
You're all I got.
And then he's like, yes. He's like, and then at the end, he's like, yes, sissy. And it explodes.
Felix, Jacob, you are missing out on one of the greatest pieces of cinema ever made.
Out.
Yeah.
Out. You're hereby voted off the island.
But anyway, that's all I have to say regarding Renegade Brews. Do you want me to get Renegade Brews? There's my little Freudian slip, just like exotic butters.
Are you secretly shipping something I should be knowing about?
No.
And Ruru?
But anyway, do you guys want me to move on to the next one?
Go ahead.
All right. Run the Tide. Now, I understand that a lot of people are going to roll their eyes once they see the title character in the trailer. And let me announce the title character. Taylor Lautner.
Jacob. Yeah, he's got that stigma already. He is Jacob.
Yeah, he kind of is.
Not that Jacob, but
Barker, no, I'm sorry. Out. Just out. Don't ever say that again.
I haven't even seen it, and I already know it's not as good.
Yeah, but anyway...
I actually never got to talk about Renegade. I got a lot of Payday and Grand Theft Auto vibes just because it's a heist mission. Anyway, continue.
But what do you think about Run the Tide? It's basically, a heroin addict mom, trying to regain her life back, and the son is unwilling to cooperate.
Mm-hmm. At least Jacob kept his shirt on, and he's
son
of a bitch.
We all have to keep him. We have to call him that.
Okay, we have to applaud that.
Yes. And
Everybody clap.
he seems like he actually grew a pair and has some facial hair.
I know, right?
I mean, he does a good job of it. I think. I'll give
By
him
the way,
that.
I think Shudder can outwolf Jacob Black any day of the fucking week.
yeah, I mean,
like I think it's rule
like,
in the
what
furry.
do you got? What do you
like
got?
someone tried
Yeah.
to reference werewolves from Twilight in the furry
No.
fandom, and we're like, whoa,
No,
we
no,
don't
no, no,
we
no,
don't
no,
talk
no, no, no.
we don't talk about those. Okay?
That does not count.
Yeah,
that
no.
was-
Talk about
Yeah,
Shark Boy
bullshit.
and Lava Girl. Because he was in that movie.
Yeah, you can talk about that.
Oh my
movie.
god!
Yeah, I can't believe that guy's.
movie is just like it's a joke. It's not
Ruined
bad, but
my
it's, just,
meme journal.
it's so fun to make fun of that it's just good. It's such a fountain of memes.
I mean, have you
I
seen
know.
the Nostalgia Critic review of it?
Yes, I watched Doug Walker. What do you think?
Was it George Lopez also in it as the villain?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's another part of the joke. George Lopez is the villain. George Lopez is an amazing person.
David Naughton will be. Well, you're not wrong about that.
You're not wrong.
Hurry. Yeah, just Twilight is a no. The
Yeah.
time has come and gone. And
Yeah.
good riddance.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to deal with Twilight anymore unless Stephanie Meyer decides to make a sequel of Twilight, because if she did, that'd be more stupid.
Just let it die.
But anyway, we're getting off topic here. Run the Tide. What do you guys think?
It doesn't look special to me, and then it's also kind of the natural repulsion upon seeing Taylor Lautner. It's not because of him as a person or an actor. It's just because he's been in Twilight, obviously, and that whenever I look at him, I see Twilight, and I'm like,
it is so hard to
I
call Taylor Lautner.
I can't look at your face and think of you in like a serious way at all.
It's part of the same It's part of the same reason why I can't think of Taylor Lautner in any other way. I can't think of Kristen Stewart in any other way and I can't look at Robert Pattinson in any other way because all I see is Bella, Edward, and Jacob. That's all I see.
him as the guy
then
who
I'll-
died in Harry Potter 4.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
he
yeah.
was. That's how I remember. Cedric.
Spoiler alert.
Cedric, wasn't that him?
Yeah, Cedric Diggory.
Yes,
But-
he did a good job there. I mean, it was a little more life in his character versus just being like completely emotionless and dead. Like
And bland.
the same
just
thing
like,
with Kristen Stewart. Like
And
like,
drive a
her
Volvo.
expression has her expressionless face, and it's like at first I was like expressionless.
You
then
know
I
what?
was like expressionless.
You want to know something? You want to know something funny? Someone tried to compare Robert Pattinson with Hayden Christensen from the Star Wars prequels, and there was actually a debate saying that they are both kind of alike in certain ways, and I can kind of agree with that. I mean, first you have Anakin Skywalker with the
GT.
worst line. Don't forget about the worst line in any Star Wars film. I don't like sand. It's coarse. It's coarse, rough, and irritating. And it gets everywhere. Not like
He
here.
goes off and kills his mom.
sand.
Jason Bateman was better. Yeah,
We're better than
Yeah.
Taylor Lautner.
yeah, we were better than Taylor Lautner. What are you talking about? But anyway, run the tide. That's all I can say. Do you want me to guys move on?
Please.
Not much to see. Nothing to see here. Moving
All right,
on.
all right. Let's actually get to the good stuff. Office Christmas Party. This looks like a fun time.
Hell yeah.
What do you think, Krüz?
Yeah, I think like I like the setup of the actors with TJ Miller. I mean, he's a great, fun actor. He cannot really do much wrong, and especially
He
considering
was
the
on
fact that he
Gravity
was
Falls.
also in Deadpool. Yeah.
Gravity Falls?
Yeah.
Who was?
TJ Miller? Yeah, no, he
I've
played,
never-
I think it was
crap, I forget his name.
one. I don't know. I haven't seen. Not sure.
Are you?
much,
He
but-
played
I
Goth
do have
Dude.
I have a question. Do you watch Gravity Falls religiously?
Well, I did when it was on the air.
Are you gonna watch Steven Universe religiously now?
That depends on if I actually want to watch TV, which most of the time I don't.
Well, I can just give you the link to the website where you can watch Steven Universe for free on it. But
And
if
then-
you're really into that. But other than that, Office Christmas Party, I was laughing my ass off at the end, where he tried to swing on Christmas lights, but the Christmas lights broke.
I think he was meaning to swing on those lights.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
It just looks like a fun time. Or something to just laugh at.
Alright, I have one single gripe with this trailer and the entire movie. First of all, a Mitsubishi Galant of, I believe that's like around 2000, 2001, a Mitsubishi Galant from that body style was never a rally car, so it never would have driven like that. Not like the one from the 80s. Yeah, that was a successful rally car, but I digress. Also, neons and that weird purple color. How much goddamn Need for Speed Underground have you been playing?
A lot. I put those on all of my cars. I did have a good looking 350Z orange, I think with green under neon and a hood, not the hood scoop, but like the raised up air intake. It's pretty badass.
Oh yeah, Jason Bateman is in Office Christmas Party. Too bad he's not dressed up as Nick Wilde.
Oh, yeah,
By the way,
this is a movie that I do want to go see.
Oh yeah, I do kind of wish Nick Wilde was in my dreams where I can give him a hug. I don't know about you guys, but I want Nick Wilde to be part of my life forever.
I sort of reference today because driving home after the game from Baltimore, I came across Redwood Street, and I'm like, "That's right, space in the middle. What that is red."
That was awesome.
I'm like, I thought to myself, and I actually sort of said it out loud. I'm like, "That's right, a red wood.
Yeah,
what that is red. With a space in the middle." God damn it.
like I was kind of surprised that counted as getting away with it. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you really did bring that into a court and you said they were redwood, the judge is going to believe you.
Well, it is red, but they didn't, it's kind of like,
hey, redwood.
It's more like there's not a rule. There's nothing saying I can't do that. There's another thing like that for, I think it was a D&D reference that it's like he's like, but you're only defense mage. You can only put up a wall. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't say where I have a limit of putting up on my wall, or I can just put my wall on top of you. It's like, there's nothing that says there's a rule against it.
Yeah, I totally agree to that. I want Larry. Me and Shutter are both Gary and Larry. I'm not even kidding. Me and Shutter are Gary and Larry because we both have the same fur color as Gary and Larry.
Like, shut up, Gary. I didn't start it.
I didn't start it.
By the way, speaking of Zootopia, I just want to bring this up. Apparently, I put on the Twitter account saying that Zootopia, which rating should have Zootopia been rated, and G or PG, and 70% of you said PG, and I was really shocked and surprised. I mean, I understand that there are technically innuendos in it, but are kids really going to understand it if it was a PG film?
It's going to go right over their heads, but I mean, I think
there's
that
still the dark overtones too.
G is just basic, and it's also sort of like the touching on like whole race, somewhat race relations and other things like that, like whole inner workings of a city and the police force and all that. So it's kind of serious topics. But
so would you say that
she wishes you were dead?
Yeah, my mommy says she wishes you were dead. I love the way the kids said that. My mommy says she wishes you were dead.
My absolute favorite line is when Assistant Mayor Bellwether is leaving, and then Nick Wilde goes, "You think when she goes to sleep she counts herself?"
Yeah,
and just the way he said it, like, that was a great line.
I got movies that aren't even out yet.
I know. Speaking of,
one of mine was he's like, if I were to do something illegal, which I never have.
That was like bullshit.
Which I never have. Disclaimer.
But anyway, that's all I have to say about Office Christmas Party. Do you guys want me to move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Krüz.
What?
Dark Miss.
No parents.
Okay. The Lego Batman.
I
movie.
only work in black and occasionally in really, really, really dark gray.
I know. So, do you guys want to see this film?
Who doesn't?
It looks interesting. Like, I didn't really like much of what Lego Batman was like in the original Lego movie, aside from the first try thing. But I think if he gets his own sort of stage, then it'll be better. And so I'm willing to try this one out.
Everything is possum.
And as I said, I'm a huge Batman fan. So yeah.
Darkness.
Also,
There
the
needs
fact
to be
that
a
it
black
stars
metal cover of that song.
yes, there really does. Also, the fact that Will Arnett from BoJack Horseman plays Batman is really enticing. I really like that idea. What do you guys think?
Go ahead.
I'm glad that Will Arnett has returned as Lego Batman. Okay? It's certainly
Did you ever? I mean, you've never watched BoJack Horseman before?
I need to watch BoJack Horseman. There's a lot of stuff I need to watch, okay? I know, you're gonna give me crap for it.
Yeah.
But... Yes, I still need to watch Stranger Things. That's why I want to get a Chromecast.
Okay. For Netflix, right?
Yes, for Netflix, because then I can also do YouTube and stuff. But...
Well, you can just watch Stranger Things on your computer. Is it just that uncomfortable for you?
But I want to watch it when I'm in bed.
Okay.
If it makes sense.
All right.
Anyway, I think the last thing I remember watching Will Arnett in was a CinemaSins video where it was TMNT 2, the live action bullcrap.
Right.
And then I'm gonna make
that.
a joke in like the next movie, in like the next upcoming attraction that refers to that movie, and I think it's the only good line out of that entire piece of garbage.
Right.
But I am excited for this movie. I do like Will Arnett. I loved his performance in the Lego movie. He was in Blades of Glory, which was a very funny movie.
Wait. I saw Blades of Glory. That was like the film with John Heder and
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. I don't know what it is, but Will Ferrell always picks very inappropriate roles nowadays, and I don't understand why.
He just that's just who he is, or like as my dad always refers to him as in Talladega Nights, running around in his underwear. And
Well, how did he get down to his underwear? He
says
I can't do a good Larry McReynolds. I'm sorry.
He's like, yeah, guys. He says it, or my dad says usually it's like in every movie Will Ferrell's been in, he almost always has a scene where he's running around in his tidy whities.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish gods! Help me, Allah!
Which is almost entirely true.
Help me,
I think
Tom
my
Some
Cruise!
movies isn't, but
I think my favorite part in oh, by the way, just so you guys know, if Zach is listening to the trailer, his opinion doesn't matter on this movie. But anyway,
It'd be a dick.
well, I'm sorry. Like, Zach did not like the Lego movie when it came out, and everyone else did, and I don't understand what was his gripe with.
I don't want to say it wasn't like an overwhelmingly. I cannot speak. Overwhelmingly, holy shit, great film. But I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't quite bad yet.
A lot of people were angry that the Lego movie was not nominated for an Oscar, because I personally think it deserved it.
Well,
Deserved Best Animated
sort of
Feature.
to make it's sort of like
yeah, I knew it. There Zach goes.
yeah, there you are, you dick. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sort of like give them credit for taking like sort of something out of nothing, like with what they didn't really have any of the Lego stories like, and it's not like Bionicle because that I had that the Mask of Light and DVD which I liked. But they didn't have any real storyline to go on, so they just made it up, and I think they did a good job with, considering they had nothing to go on. But Zach has his right to not like it.
No,
But,
no, 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 no,
people
no.
also have
no, no,
the
no.
right
Everyone
to be
has
wrong.
their everyone has their right to not like the movies that they don't like. I mean, hey, I don't like The Wizard of Oz. I absolutely hate that film, and everyone else loves it. But
Yeah, I mean, because it's a classic.
well,
It is.
It kind of has aged. I'm sorry, and I also think the plot.
Well, I know it's old because that's why it's a classic. I don't know if it's on the top 100 like of all time things, and that goes back to like, the old Birth of a Nation. Like that's on it just because it was the first full length film, and it's like got a bunch of other old ones like Casablanca and all that other crap. But yeah, he says, I think quote Zach said is he just mentioned like it was too ADHD for him, but I mean that's kind of like if I was younger, and I think I was like maybe I don't know 12, I would have been cracking up at the whole thing. But yeah, the spaceship was a pretty good scene, and then also the the first try thing. I'm like that is me in a nutshell. Like yeah, first try, I did it.
Yeah, that was funny. I like the part where Princess Unikitty is like, I feel something, which is the opposite of happiness. Anyway, let's move on to our
1941.
Yeah, it makes you feel old.
Anyway, let's move on to our next trailer because personally, after seeing the trailer, I am kind of convinced about it. A series of unfortunate events that is coming out on Netflix. Yeah. I saw the trailer. I saw the teaser trailer, which I want to say I'm not too sure if it was Alec Baldwin or someone else who was playing Lemony Snicket. I don't know. I forgot the teaser trailer, but anyway, a series of unfortunate events. I was watching the trailer. I was watching the characters. I was looking at the person who played Count Olaf, which was Neil Patrick Harris. I hate to say this, but he really does look the part. I'm not going to lie. I mean, he looks evil, he sounds evil, and he even thinks evil. I literally am at a loss for words. What do you guys think?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. And the unthinkable happened.
Yeah,
you're not going to be any better than Jim Carrey. But
I would say Jim Carrey played it more like goofy, over the top. I think Neil Patrick Harris is kind of playing his role seriously, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris is the closest you'll get to Jim Carrey without, of course, the trademark facial expressions. But he sort of has the same attitude, in a way, especially in like comical roles. But I think that would be that's a good choice, if you can't have Jim Carrey with it, because
And I've read all the books, so you can bet my ass I've seen this.
The most from that was Jim Carrey thing with the baby always trying to bite him. He's like, baby, and that shows like teeth or something like that.
But seriously, what do you guys think about this particular trailer? Because when I was looking at Neil Patrick Harris, he does look evil. He does look the part. Will he play the part well? Will he play it better than Jim Carrey? I don't know. But from the looks of it, it almost sounds like he'll play the role a lot more serious than Jim Carrey, in my opinion. But that's to be expected. But what do you guys think? Naka, what were you going to say?
Add this to the list of things that I need to watch.
Okay, but what else do you have to say?
No, I'm actually looking forward to this. Because, how long was the 2004 movie edition that Nickelodeon made? Like 2 hours? This will cover the story a lot better because it's episodic, and because it's a Netflix original, they can do 4
There's actually 14 books,
episodes.
which I have read all of them.
Jesus Christ! I've only read like 3 or 4 of them.
I think I can name them all off the top of my head. If I really wanted to, I could name them. I can name all of them.
Well, go ahead if you can.
Bad Beginning, Reptile Room, Wide Window. I already forgot the 4th one. Damn it. Miserable Mill. I think I want to say Austere Academy. Ersatz Elevator, episode 7. I forgot what 7 was, and that's as far as I got. But I don't know. With Count Olaf, I think Neil Patrick is going to play Count Olaf pretty damn well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As I said, it was like the best you can get without using Jim Carrey. And, I remember, now it's coming back to me because I saw it. I saw the original a long time ago. I have not read the books, but I do also see Olaf as more the goofy kind of evil because, I mean, that seemed more fitting with the mix of comedy and tragedy in the movie, sort of balancing it out. But
I wish you guys read the books because I've read all of them, and
yeah, I mean, I'm wondering now: are they going to try to split? Like, is it still series? Like, are they going to split it episodes into the the books?
they're going to split the books into episodes this time instead of movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
I
makes
think
sense.
that might be.
Well, I told you it's coming out on Netflix. Obviously, it's going to be episodic.
Yeah, that might be allow for.
They might do like I heard that they were going to do 2 books a season.
It might allow for more creativity, in the long run. With like you have more time to, play with and, elaborate on it versus just having to do it all in one movie.
Mm-hmm.
But Jim Carrey, it's one of my favorite actors.
Well, you kind of remind me of Jim Carrey.
Because I am.
Oh,
I am.
righty then.
I love Jim Carrey because I am part Jim Carrey.
Yes, you are.
Oh, right. I will lovingly wrap it in bubble paper.
But anyway, without further ado, let's move on to our next coming attraction. Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage. Keep the pants on, furries. Yeah. But seriously though, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are excited to see Vin Diesel,
do anything.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel is
He's known for like 5 things.
I know.
Kicking ass, and all of them are kicking ass.
Yeah, what do you guys think, Naka? I've never saw the Triple X film, so I wouldn't know.
It's more of like the action-y side of what Fast and Furious has now become before it turned into Fast and Furious Triple X. And no,
Is that? I'm rewatching the trailer. Is that Tony Gonzalez
I don't know.
from the Falcons? I know he's on.
Maybe.
That looks almost exactly like him. Anyway, I don't know. I only saw him on TV, but that's cool if that's him.
Yeah, but to make a reference to TMNT 2, aka Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, garbage.
Right.
What would Vin Diesel do? And
Yeah,
I just got reminded of Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage.
Yeah, what do you think, Krüz?
It looks pretty cool because I mean, who doesn't love Vin Diesel? But I mean, I like the look of this because, it just reminds me of Fast and Furious all over again. Which I would be happy to see with more of the action side, not just the racing. I mean, the racing part was really, really awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I get to see Vin Diesel, it's worth it. And say what you will about Furious 7, I did enjoy the whole him with Jason Statham is like, you thought this was a street fight? You're goddamn right it is.
The thing about street fights,
Like,
the street
woman,
always wins.
woman, I am the cavalry.
That's The Rock.
Rock is the cavalry.
Yes, he is, and he's a good cavalry.
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
We already do. He's cooking up Jumanji, but we'll get to that when we come around to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry to even bring that film up, but we'll get to that when we see an actual trailer because we have a lot to bash about that one. But anyway, I haven't seen the other Triple X films. I heard that a lot of people really like them. I haven't seen any of them. I know remember there was a Triple X film that starred Ice Cube, I want to say. But other than that, yeah, nothing I have to say regarding this one. What do you think? Is that all you guys have to say regarding this one?
Yeah.
Krüz?
Yeah.
Do you want me to move on?
Yeah. I'm just gonna check out the cast real quick because I swear to God that's Tony Gonzalez.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It says Tony Gonzalez. That's pretty cool.
I shudder.
Those of you don't know, I mean, some of you don't follow sports. He was tight end for the Atlanta Falcons and one of their biggest players for a long time. But,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not a Falcons fan, but I give him mad respect because, you know, he was a good player. Anyway,
Right.
I'll let you move on.
Anyway, let's move on to our final coming attraction, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people are very, very either hit and miss about. Wonder
Wonder
Woman.
Woman!
Yeah,
I wanted to do that.
Gal Gadot did. Gal Gadot is, well, I say, she obviously is taking the place of Megan Fox, you know, in like a better way because she actually is so kick-ass, you know, kick-ass acting and, you know, personality. But then I think she also makes a really good Wonder Woman. So I'm kind of excited to see this because Wonder Woman, like, essentially is almost, you know, exactly based off of Athena because that's basically what she
Right.
is, with the shield and sword.
A lot of people, I would say that a lot of people, including myself, are kind of skeptical with DC's decisions because I don't know what it is, but no matter, like, unless it's Christopher Nolan's Batman films, DC just hasn't made their superhero films any good. Like, and their animated films are phenomenal. It's just, I don't know what it is.
I think it was Justice League. That one I thought was awesome.
We don't know if
animated
Justice League, the animated series of Justice League was amazing, but
Yeah.
ever since the release of Batman versus Superman, which, you know, has garnished a lot of negative attention, it begs the question if, you know, Justice League is going to do the same, or if it's going to move on from that. And I don't even know that. It could just move on to the same thing that it has always done. So, you know, for Wonder Woman, I haven't seen a lot of superhero films by DC unless it's like, you know, unless
Christopher
it's
Nolan
like
Batman.
pretty much, yeah, like, because Christopher Nolan Batman, like, he made the 3 films that he needed and then he left. And with this film, it just, I don't know. I don't know what to think of this one. And another thing with Wonder Woman, it's just like a lot of people say that Wonder Woman's story is a very, very tough story to tell, because how can you make a superhero film where Wonder Woman is basically classified as a perfect character, perfect body, perfect powers, perfect image?
She's based off of Athena. Athena is a goddess of war and strategy in war, so it's kind of hard not to try to depict them as perfect.
Right, but yeah, I don't know. I just think this. I don't know what to think of DC. DC just kind of has lost a lot of respect for me, especially since, you know, with we are now classifying Zack Snyder as the, you know, part of the trinity of worst breakthrough Hollywood filmmakers. The other 2 being Michael Bay and M. Night Shyamalan. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Shyamalan?
that's all I. You mean Shamalama Ding Dong? Yeah.
Shamalama-ding-dong.
But anyway, that's all I have to say for the movie news. And now let's move on to our thoughts for the week with Naka Inu.
Remembering Satoru Iwata. CEO, game developer, gamer. Satoru Iwata, one of the best known faces in the gaming industry. Born in Hokkaido, aka that top part of Japan, the hat of Japan, if that makes sense. His first encounter with
Anything in
computers
Japan
was in
makes
middle
sense.
school
Or
in a local
doesn't.
subway station. Iwata then programmed games with a simple HP calculator and shared them with his friends. 1978, he went to college to study for computer science, though he wasn't challenged. He met a circle of friends who later founded HAL Labs, the people behind many games like Taxman, a Pac-Man clone, and Super Smash Bros. HAL was a nod to the 2001 Space Odyssey character HAL 9000, and a laugh at IBM. If it makes sense, like H and then I, A and then B, L and then M.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his family was unhappy with him for joining HAL Labs. He wanted to join anyway. He was a game designer, programmer, and a marketing advisor. He worked weekends, and he wanted to work weekends. Their original IP wanted to be challenging for older players, but easy. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry about that. Sorry. My fault.
Okay.
And after the Famicom
Go ahead.
released the NES, they were drawn to the Famicom and asked to partner with Nintendo. They saw potential in HAL Labs. And Iwata. Iwata worked on games like Balloon Fight, NES Open Golf, and the Famicom port of Joust, to name a few. Their original IP wanted to be challenging for older players, but easy to new players. This was the foundation of Kirby's Dream Land, released in '92, and was a huge hit.
One of my favorite Kirby games, and as I said a while ago, one of my favorite games of all time. I will let you continue now.
While in bankruptcy, HAL and Hiroshi Yamauchi, then owner of Nintendo and the Seattle Mariners, hooty-hoo, offered aid to HAL in exchange for exclusive second-party development, and that Iwata would be president of HAL. Their trust was forged in iron. Satoru led the company away from bankruptcy, even while designing and managing games, and would often step in to save games from disaster. That was Earthbound, aka Mother 2. When it was struggling to be made, he said that it would take 2 years to use what was there already. If it was fresh, it would take 6 months. Many of the problems were solved in a moment, and the title was saved in 6 months. Pokemon Stadium was another game that was saved. While challenging, Iwata aided in the localization for Red and Green, Red and Blue, and was able to port the battle mechanics to Stadium in a week. He kind of slaughtered himself in the development for Pokemon, later releasing Gold and Silver, some of the best Pokemon games of all time in my opinion. He created compression tools for Gold and Silver, just so they would fit on a Game Boy cartridge, to help double the size of the game's overworld, which added Kanto. He was willing to do whatever he could. His final project that he personally saved was Super Smash Bros., an iconic game for the 64. While HAL was short of programmers, Iwata would spend weekends making early builds to test the game. They kinda didn't get permission from Nintendo for the characters, but it was later released anyway, and it was one of the most successful franchises for Nintendo and the gaming industry as a whole. All because Iwata saw the potential of the title and programmed it himself. In 2000, he was offered a high place at Nintendo, an offer that Iwata accepted. They made him an offer that he couldn't refuse. Refuse. There we go.
Refuse.
He cut costs, streamlined game production, and helped save Smash Bros. Melee himself, allowing the title to be released on time. In 2002, Yamauchi stepped down and Iwata was promoted. While Yamauchi was driven on instinct, Iwata was driven on data to help keep things in check, hiring many people like Shigeru Miyamoto and Reggie Fils-Aimé to have many people with his power. Like, it would be like a council and stuff. And while Nintendo was beginning to fall back, Iwata thought of something that would have the market clamoring for Nintendo. After commissioning a year-long investigation of the industry, he concluded that technology was too high instead of mass appeal. The first new hardware under his power was the Nintendo DS. 2 screens, one of them being touch-enabled. This went on to be the second best-selling console of all time, shipping over 154 million units in its lifetime. It appealed to gamers and non-gamers alike, and Iwata wanted to seek more of the success. The company took the risk with motion control instead of graphics, pulling out the Wii at E3 2006. He wanted games to be fun and wanted the Wii to be accessible to everyone straight away. And it did. The Wii managed to sell over 100 million units during its lifespan and created a new trend in the industry with motion controls. It kind of changed what it meant to be a gamer. While doing his interviews, he would often share times when he was a programmer and his insights in Nintendo history. He began Nintendo Directs in 2011, a new way to talk about games being released, but he didn't see them as announcements. He saw them as a way to express his creativity, as he did with Nintendo's games. These have become the new way for announcing things for Nintendo, as it was a huge success. Iwata saw the company prospering through the Wii and the DS, but poor marketing and poor third-party support had let the Wii U suffer. Instead of cutting his employees, he cut his own pay to keep company morale up. In 2014, a cancerous tumor was found in his bile duct, causing immediate surgery, missing an appearance at E3 2014. Everyone was shocked and wished him well. But like Maury Schwartz, he never lost his smile. He always remained happy in his appearances, and even updated his me to reflect the weight he had lost during his treatment. In June of 2015, he was unable to attend E3, and later hospitalized. Even in the hospital, he remained working, and exchanged ideas with Pokemon Company about a game that would later become Pokemon Go. But sadly, on July 11th, 2015, Satoru Iwata passed away at age 55. Fans, industry mates, even competitors from other consoles mourned the loss of Satoru Iwata. His burial was July 16th, 2015, and his funeral was attended by thousands out of respect. Nobody can deny how much he impacted the gaming industry, with revolutionizing gaming, helping Nintendo push forward, and aiding the development and release of some of the most successful games of all time. And he rejected praise, because he said he was doing his job. He remained one thing in his life: a gamer. Everyone here at S.E.T will miss Satoru Iwata, and the entire gaming industry along with us. Instead of saying rest in peace, game in paradise, Mr. Iwata.
Amen to that.
Amen. I do agree with Satoru. You know, Satoru Iwata did so many good things in his life, and it's a shame that he had to leave us so soon, right after, you know, the announcement of the Nintendo Switch, which he was actually a part of announcing. And I mean, you can pretty much say that the Nintendo Switch is kind of like his, you know, his last present to Nintendo to see what they can do with it.
Yeah.
But you know, Satoru Iwata had a vigor that I don't think anyone could really, you know, mention. I mean, what kind of company president decides to cut their own paychecks so that their video game developers can continue working? I mean, that's
like, you will not get a better definition of integrity than that.
Yeah.
Loyalty. So, and I think, considering, like, I didn't know that, you know, Smash Bros. Originally was just like a failed project, but, you know, the game ended up being pretty much perfect, and it's I think it continues to be one of Nintendo's best-selling games.
It is.
Yeah, because and they're still to this day doing Smash Bros. Tournaments all over the world. I mean, I even saw one from Norway called Smash Norge, which I think that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've had Smash tournaments at my school.
Yeah, I know they do one in University of Pittsburgh, and then one in Ohio University, not Ohio State, because fuck them, but Ohio Valley, I think it's just Ohio, or whatever. Yeah. I would love to take part in that, but, you know, give him credit for what he did for just, like, not only the games, but also, I remember because I didn't get a DS, I only got the DS Lite, and my sister got a DS, and we were, like, fighting over it, like, because, you know, we were just trying to play the old New Super Mario Bros. And I mean, it's we sort of took it for granted in the day, but now you look back and realize that it's kind of like there was nothing else really like it.
No, I still have my old DS Lite in its box that I still.
I had to trade. I would, but I had to trade it in to upgrade. But and also the Wii, like, despite some of the initial failures of the Wii, and then also with the whole thing about the controller, and the whole thing, like, when the whole entirety of the world forgot how to hold on to something with a firm grip so much that Nintendo had to make these giant condoms to put over the controllers.
Well,
That's basically but yeah, nobody used the wrist strap. I mean, I used it. That only happened
I used
once.
because I didn't want to break my TV.
Yeah,
Same here.
I never threw my controller accidentally, even if I did or didn't use a wrist strap. My sister did once, but it only threw over to the side and it didn't even break. So we didn't have an issue with that. But to what he started there, I mean, that's not only taking risks, but also just sticking with it. Even when the competitors started like taking notice and like making their own ways. I think Sony did it first.
Sony with the PlayStation Move, and then Microsoft
Yeah.
with the Kinect.
Yeah.
Right.
So they to think about, like, you gotta give him credit. Like, he started that initially, or at least he came forward with it before anyone else did, and that set the tone for the interactive gaming industry of whole. And I think quite possibly he's allowed the rise of VR.
Right.
So I mean,
Oh yeah.
I mean, even though I don't like really, I didn't even know who this guy was at first. I recognized his face because I think it was in the Brain Games DS thing. I think that was him. Even though it's a very,
it wasn't. It was another. It was an actual person who does the brain game. It
kinda-
kind of looked like him, but it wasn't.
it does look kind of like him. But I do recognize him when I've seen him on like E3 shows or whatever. But to know like this is what he's done, it's kind of like he's single-handedly. You don't want to say single-handedly really, because he didn't work alone, but he did a lot to save Nintendo and then make it really, really good again. Like, yeah, make Nintendo great again. Check, got that squared away.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I mean, like a lot. Well, I mean, a lot of people still play PS4 over Nintendo, or Xbox over Nintendo for that matter, because a lot of Nintendo still has an idea that it appeals to children and not adults, but as adults, we still play Nintendo.
Yeah. It's changing a little bit, especially with the new.
With Nintendo Switch, like with the Nintendo Switch, the trailer was announced. I mean, did you count how many children that there was in that trailer? Because there was none, no children in that trailer at all.
Yeah, and then I have a little story about the comment that just came up, but also the new this Pokemon Sun and Moon that like it has like how the kid grew up with Pokemon and then now he's getting the game again.
Yeah,
that still appeals to an older generation. Also, this was a thing my dad was just sometimes being a dick, made a point of, if we didn't get up and get out of the way with the wired controllers playing the GameCube games on the Wii. And at one point, he just actually walked through and the Wii just like flew out from where it was behind the TV. And it still worked after that. But nowadays, we still have it, but it only plays GameCube games. And then we got another one that it sits sideways and it only plays Wii games. So I'm just kind of like, it's irritating, but give it credit for surviving for that long.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I love, even though I wouldn't play the Wii as much anymore, I love what it did, because it just even if you don't take the tennis and all that games like seriously and try to play it seriously, it's still entertaining. Because on Facebook at one point I saw one of the most hilarious rallies in Wii tennis where it was just the two people in front at the net and it was just going back and forth between them. Like, it was hilarious to watch. And
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But anyway, with Satoru Iwata, we're gonna miss you, man. We think that you were a great, corporate president, and it's gonna be hard to fill in some massive shoes. But with that being said, this has been our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope that you all have a fantastic evening. And once again,
Yes.
Thank you very much for watching Subwoofer Entertainment Treehouse. My name is Scarfy.
I'm Naka.
Him.
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, we're waiting.
But you go first. Oh. Okay, I'm Krüz.
Anyway, and this has been Subwoofer Entertainment Treehouse. We hope that you have a fantastic night and take care.
Toasted.